She's exactly what she should be. Ah. Good morning, G. Palmer, Mr. Red, Ect, Blade Duval, Oculus, Ect, I already said Ect, Macromano, Chaotic Danny, Django, Caspian, Vigilant, Umbral Magmus. What is up? It's time to play as Q-Snaps! No, I'm joking. It's time to play as Ivo Iliani, also known as Darth Iliani. So I don't know if you know this, Mega Skullmon Spockbomb. If you type in !next into chat, you can actually see the upcoming games we're going to be playing. And if you type in anything else, which I don't know what the command is, I think the list is actually the command, or maybe just list. Anyways, !list will get to the list of games that are currently being funded. And that should answer your question. So we finished the Republic, and the Republic wasn't good. Now, part of the problem here is that almost no matter what we do, we're probably going to run into some problems when it comes to the gameplay side of things, and that is invariably going to drag the score down. Any problems with the gameplay affect every other aspect of the game. That's not only something I agree with philosophically, that is how the review system works by design. So, that being said, I do anticipate that the Imperial side will score better, because one of the things that can happen is there can be good to outweigh bad, which, if you'll notice, we haven't really had a lot of, not to sound too dismissive, but while Consular was okay, I remind you its score was in the 30s, which is considered below average. As in, anything above 0 is a net positive, but anything below about 40 to 60 isn't even an averagely good game. I gotta stand by that because of the gameplay side of things. There needs to be a lot of really good story to absolutely smash that kind of gameplay problem. Consular would be lower if... Well, actually, I don't know if Consular would be lower if I played light side. That's actually an interesting point, but keep in mind that several of those story negatives are for Consular light side, so just remember that in the back of your mind. Did it beat Smuggler? So, yes, apparently not everyone knows, and that's okay. I accept that. Stab. Right now, if you give me one moment, I'll tell you where the rankings are. Keep in mind, we've only tabulated the score for the 4 classes we've covered and the Republic, which is relevant because that does not include the all section, the stuff that applies to everything. That'll only apply to the very final number, the platinum number. But for right now, Jedi Knight is at negative 21.67. Trooper is at negative 15.83. Knight, sorry, not Knight. Smuggler is at 12, and Consular is at 34. The whole of the Republic, again, not counting the all category, which is why we're doing that on purpose, so far is at a negative 32. Which, if you don't have context, is extremely bad. It's like the 4th worst game I've ever reviewed, if we were to count it as such. So it's pretty low. For a bit of perspective on how good 30 is, well, let's see here. If we were to have a game that scored 30 normally, not an MMO, that'd be down there with the range of, say, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky was a 28. Suikoden 5 was a 31. Spellforce 3 was a 32. Halo 1 was a 36. Soma was a 36. Mega Man 9 was a 37. You know, stuff that's not really all that great. And meanwhile, everyone chat's like, but all those games are awesome. Yeah, wait until I tell you that Super Mario 64 scored a 19. Anyways, point being, Sith Inquisitor. All you need to know about the intro is that we're a slave. There's our rival, immediately.
Ah, the last one to arrive is finally here. I hope you don't think you're special. It would be a shame if freedom went to your head. Or if you somehow got the idea you didn't need to pass your trials to become Sith. Lord Zash has tasked me with sorting through you refuse to find one worthy of being her apprentice, and I intend to do just that.
Please, don't get all sentimental on us. We've only just met.
I won't. Now the rest of you gutter trash already know your trial. Get going while I bring our latecomer up to speed.
Watch your back, friend. And don't worry. It'll be all right. He can't kill us all.
A Sith fears no one.
Suit yourself.
Now, slave, for your trial. There's a hermit named Spindrol who lives in the tomb of Ajunta Paul in the Valley of the Dark Lords. Spindrol's a lunatic, but Lord Zash sees him as some kind of prophet. Once you find him, he will test you.
The more challenging,
The better.
But there, you know your task. Spindrol lives in the tomb of Ajunta Paul in the Valley of the Dark Lords. Don't keep Spindrol waiting, slave.
And that's the intro to Sith Inquisitor. You'll notice that, and I don't want to directly compare this to Consular, because Consular was actually decent overall, but you'll notice how this is immediately better setup and better presentation than Consular, and way better than Jedi Knight, or Trooper for that matter. Also, I like the ships just kind of hovering in the background. Yeah, there's a lot of, we have a lot of moving pieces immediately jumped into our face, which I'll talk about in just a second. As soon as I load this. And this. Should be this one. Perfect. There we go. There's my buttons. So, yeah, we've pretty much immediately got all we really need to know about all that's happening. We understand that this is the nature of how the slaves... Hang on, Mr. Ray. We understand the nature of how slaves work and how slaves function. Because we're a slave and we're treated like garbage. And yet, we are given the opportunity to do something. Now, I know that's a weird thing to point out, but it is something that is somewhat consistent with the Sith side at this point historically. We're not actually chattel slaves. We are slaves who are... the whole Sith Empire has this thing about... I don't want to say encouraging upward mobility, but there's a strong component of survival of the fittest going throughout the entirety of the Sith Empire, and it permeates every facet of their existence. This is not the only slave throughout the course of this story arc, or the Sith Empire in general, who will rise up to be above their station, and will be rewarded for doing so. Now, in this specific case, however, we didn't manage this ourselves. We were given this post by someone named Darth Zash. So, Darth Zash is mentioned, upwards mobility is mentioned, slavery is already a fundamental institution of the Sith Empire, and we see a bit of the Sith philosophy. We also see a little bit of insight into different types of personalities we see on the Sith side, and one of the things they go out of their way to do, and I think this is actually brilliant in its own way, they bother to have what's-her-face, I don't know her name, the one woman, say, don't worry, it's going to be okay, he can't kill all of us. And I bring that up because one of the things that they did when they were first designing these is they wanted to emphasize that the Sith Empire are not pure evil. Don't mistake me, there is a value in having a purely evil faction. Anybody who's played Warcraft 1 or Warcraft 2 knows what that is. But they didn't want that for these things. And I'm kind of in favor of that. I prefer the more nuanced idea that the organization certainly leans evil, and it absolutely does, but that there's individuals in it who are not dead puppies. And the inclusion of that one random NPC who just is polite or helpful or kind or whatever you want to put it, is a nice little way to just kind of tell the players who are playing this game for the first time, who have never played an MMO, or haven't played KOTOR or any of that, don't worry, we're not all puppy eaters here. And that's also important because it helps to inform something that's going to be a major part of playing a Sith, any Sith character. You don't have to be evil. Not quite, J. Palmer. Now, let's go eat some puppies. Some dude with a hat here. Oh, God. There's people here. So this is our starting world on this side. Korriban. Oh, hi, Gigapudding. Hi. You look slightly less Twi'lek-y. Oh my god, I'm the Twi'lek and you're the human. We've inverted. Uh-oh, she's eating puppies. She's eating puppies! Alright, so, yeah, whole puppies. You just pick up a puppy and just dig in, you know? Oh yeah, that's another thing. The intro also establishes pretty quickly that there are stupid people. Oh, and lest I forget to point it out, they also establish very quickly that we have a rival. It's the guy who bumps into us. It's a very, very minor thing, but that tiny little animation helps to establish the kind of environment we're in. And of course, he is our rival, although we don't know that yet, but still. Alright, so I'm already going to give a plus to the intro. This is a good intro. It's actually the opening, not the intro, but whatever. Oh god, what was his name? Harkin. Of course, my kimono. Otherwise I couldn't do this. Or this. Okay. Let's go enter the sacrificial chamber, shall we? Oh, hold on. Perfect. We are a mage, which is exactly what I wanted to be. So let's see. That's... oh god. I'm already getting abilities. I don't remember where to put that. I'll just leave those there. Alright, Mr. Red, I'm ready for your thing now. We got this. You got it. Oh yeah, also, on Ord Mantell you start in a world that's on fire because there's a civil war going on. On Tython you start on a world that's a mess because the Jedi just moved there and they're idiots. Here we start on Korriban. And not to praise this game even more, but Korriban does a lot right very quickly about establishing what kind of place this is. Crags, rocks, desert, statues, carved runes. We automatically feel, even if we know nothing about the history and lore of Star Wars, we can get an immediate feel of what kind of place this is. Big old banners of the Empire over there, statues all over the place. This is Korriban. And it again, this is going to go under both brickwork and visual storytelling, I think, because this does a lot right very quickly. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Gotta hit the wrong button. It's mandatory by law. Okay. I don't know what that means, Tyron, but I will stand here. Yeah, then there's Nal Hutta, which we'll get to later. We'll actually be doing that next, but when I say next, I mean sometime next week. Hence the next. Alright, so Mr. Red says... Intermest Torque... No, it's GZ. Yes, both MSQ, Mr. Red. Hey, Pterodactyl. It's okay, I didn't have time to read any of it. Thank you. Pterodactyl. As always, I appreciate those subs. Thank you. If you want to put that towards something in particular, please let me know. And thank you, Tyron, for the spending money. Let's immediately start spending some of that. Let's see. First, we want to be able to mount. And that's actually it. Alright, hang on. Gotta do the usual here. Gotta get everything set up, and I never remember where everything is. Watch, I'll remember where everything is by the time we do the last class, and I won't have to do it anymore. That's how that usually works. Okay, and then I want a mount. Okay. Let's do this. You got it, Pterodactyl. Thank you again. Why have a 2-week vacation, Gum Gum, when you can have a 2-year vacation? Either way, if you're asking sincerely, that's an invalid question. Because there's too little information to gauge that with. A 2-week vacation to someone who works at McDonald's is a little bit different than a 2-week vacation for someone who's the President of the United States, or a 2-week vacation for someone who is a brain surgeon, or a 2-week vacation for someone who's a cop.
Excuse me, Acolyte. Sergeant Corman, 5th Infantry Company, Korriban Regiment. Can I talk to you?
Speak freely, Sergeant.
Thank you. You're one of the slaves Harkon brought in on the last transport, right? Here to prove yourself to the bloodthirsty overseers?
Yes, that's me all right.
Well, here's your chance to not only show off for the overseers, but start building ties to the Imperial military as well. I'm here commanding
like ties to the Imperial military.
To exterminate claw slugs in this tomb. They're horrific things. Mouths bigger than your head. I've lost 3 squads of good men fighting them. They come in packs. They'll swallow a man whole.
Your men obviously need better training, Sergeant.
Those men were battle-hardened. The enemy just has more numbers. The damn claw slugs breed so fast there's no way to wipe them out conventionally. So we started targeting their egg chambers. They went insane. We managed to get explosives to all of the egg chambers, but the claw slugs were all over us before we could detonate them.
Sounds like you need some help.
Don't underestimate those claw slugs, sir. They're smarter than they look.
Yeah, it's actually funny in its own right. Oh my god, Giga, no! My DDT. Wait, you're not a Twi'lek anymore. My DDH? So, Korriban has an interesting little foible. Obviously, this place is supposed to be a crucible. It's supposed to break down the weak in order to encourage the strong. Very Darwinian, yada yada yada. Damn it, Giga, I knew it! Ah, so that's the channel. Okay, so that means that should probably be here, honestly. Oh yeah, by the way, I hope you like lightning. You're going to be seeing a lot of it. Oh god, this place used to be so crammed and so irritating to quest in. Oh, hang on. We haven't fixed our chat channels. Let's fix that really quick. Get rid of that crap. And get rid of that crap. There we go. Buy some inventory while we're at it. Just a little. We're not going to permanently go there. Lightning is awesome. It's true. 9 out of 9 Jedi agree. So that should actually probably be... what am I right now? I should probably be Madness. Help me out, because I remember liking Madness more than Lightning. I should probably go turn in. Camera.
I heard the explosions when you set off the charges. Outstanding, sir.
Anyway, so, yeah, for survival of the fittest. The thing is, there is an official rule against murdering your competition. Now, it's funny because you might think, oh, that makes sense, because, we're not stupid, right? No, the reason that rule is there is to teach people how to get away with it. It is not to prevent students from killing each other. Sure, whatever. No? Why was left? Okay, whatever. Yeah, exactly. You have to be smart about how you take out your competition. It is literally a rule designed to be broken. Hang on, it's even funnier than that, because this is on Korriban. They have so many different worlds they could set this on. And don't give me that Sith history thing. They don't care. No, the reason this is set on Korriban is because this is a death planet. I believe in Stellaris terms, this place is literally a tomb world. Relevance? Well, even if there aren't other people trying to kill you here, the environment is trying to kill you here. So, that sucks. In other words, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because the core slugs kind of reminded me of it. The whole point of this is everything here is trying to break you down, hurt you, and kill you. That's exactly the Sith mentality, philosophically speaking. Granted, not every Sith agrees with it, but the ideal, I can't even call such a thing in the circumstances, is that anybody who survives Korriban should be more than willing, capable, and able in order to deal with whatever they have to deal with. Survival of the fittest. Now, as we will see, virtually none of that is true, because there's a lot of other factors that this doesn't take into account. Including teaming up against an enemy, lying, getting lucky, just straight up being fortunate, etc., etc. Like, they can even get a sub from Sonic Doctor. And if they get a sub from Sonic Doctor, I mean, that's just going to upset everything. I need to go this way. Thank you, Sonic Doctor. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of politicking going on here, even more than on the Jedi side. We will be seeing a lot of that very shortly. In fact, we've actually technically already seen it. We're just not aware of it yet. But there's a lot of politicking going on, so sometimes the weak are coddled, and it leads to people who have power and not the skill or capacity to use it. In fact, that happens a lot.
Ah, an alien acolyte. Unusual, but not...
Oh yeah, they're also all specious for no good reason.
Sith are not friendly to your kind. But that will be an advantage, I think. You are here for your trial, yes? Learn the ways of the Sith from a doddering old man in a tomb, and hopefully to return to your master with the mark of my approval.
Actually, I just came to get some fresh air.
Do you take me for a fool? No one comes into these tombs for the sheer pleasure of it. Not even me.
You don't know me very well, do you?
No. They come for power, because they sense that these tombs hold secrets of the dark side. And they do. But before you can learn them, you must pass a trial of blood. Survive this, and I will teach you what I know.
Well, it's okay. I got a droid. Yeah, so we've actually already hinted at this. The Sith Inquisitor is very smart one way or the other. It's one of the things I like about the Inquisitors, that no matter how you play them, they are intelligent. They have to be. But they're either intelligent and also a bit mad, or intelligent and completely insane. I haven't decided which way we'll be playing it. I've seen both. Several times, actually. A little bit of crazy awesome and a little bit of plain crazy. But yeah, she can be legitimately insane. Like, I'm not even joking. Delusions of godhood. Categories of insane.
Excellent. These former acolytes wanted nothing more than to earn their second chance for glory by killing you and taking your place. But your desire proved stronger, and their blood became the mantle of your victory. Well done. But you are not Sith yet. Peace is a lie. There is only passion.
Yes.
Through passion I gain strength.
Yes.
Through strength, power.
Yes!
Through power, victory. Through victory, my chains are broken.
The Sith will
the Sith
set me free.
Commit it to your heart, and you will have the strength to crush your enemies. Do you understand?
There is nothing you can teach me that I don't already know, old man.
Then leave. Return to Harkon and nurture your hatred for him. And use your fear of him to grow stronger.
Yes.
He may raise his fist to strike, but it is Lord Zash who determines where the blow will land.
But who controls Zash, I wonder?
When you know the answer to that, you will have power over both your masters. Now, go. Leave me to my rest.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Sith Warrior and Sith Inquisitor both start with the Sith Code, unlike Consular and Jedi Knight, where they only mention it one time. But I bring that up because, while Sith Warrior is just kind of following along, the Sith Inquisitor's story arc is the Sith Code. Now, there's some interpretation going on, but that's how codes work. It's not like they're set in stone. No pun intended. Hi, Mihawk. Welcome to the Jedi Academy. If only I could bisect people in this game. Well, I was going to save that guy, and then he died. Silly me. Oh, well. He deserved it for being weak. Pathetic. Terrible. And not having a kill squad going along with him. I'm thinking we'll bypass Consular, and I mean this, by the end of Dromund Kaas. Now, you can quote me on that, because I look forward to being right, wrong, or in between. But let's just say that I am legitimately quite curious how the Sith sides are going to actually fare. You'll notice, however, that literally we're 2 cutscenes in, and it is already noticeably better than the entirety of Consular. And yeah, both the Sith classes start off pretty strong, so. And Korriban is probably one of the better planets. Which is funny, if you're remembering, Ord Mantell was the best planet on the other side. Really quick. Thank you, Croatia. Always appreciate the entire nation of Croatia subbing my streams. It's like subsidizing, but, you know, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so, hang on. I can't do that yet, can I? I'll just kind of chill for a moment. I do have scores for the planets, not a golden number, just raw numbers, because I kind of can't calculate golden numbers for those. I literally lack, you know, figures to do so. That's the one I want over here. Notice how almost every... Oh, that's Z. Almost every single one of my abilities so far is lightning-based. In fact, all but one of them are. Why would that bother me, Gumgun? Why would a leader be smart is really the question.
I have taken care of your problem with the looters in the tomb.
Ah, then I'll assume my men are dead. Even so, you have done us a great service. Their loss is your gain, I suppose.
I am most grateful.
Yes, sir.
By the way, one thing I do not like about Sith Inquisitor, I've already complained about the generic stock responses. By memory, Sith Inquisitor has more stock responses than anybody else. It's kind of weird, actually. Right, so I need to go to... Like, maybe it's just the dialogue options I pick. I don't know, but I see more stock dialogue on Sith Inquisitor than everyone else. Yawn. Ah, there it is. Correct, Jay Palmer. We're going to be doing the Sith Empire for about the next week or so. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Mr. Red. Okay, so hang on. I'm going to switch over to Madness. There we go. And I've lost abilities. Of course I have. Alright, so that should still be that. That's the cone, though. I actually want that there. That's still my instacast. Actually, I should go over here now. And that goes there. Put that there. Oh yeah, here's our heal, by the way. For whatever reason, Sith Inquisitor is based in many ways on Darth Maul. That may sound strange, but it's because what actually happened is the Sith Inquisitor is literally a merger of Maul and Palpatine, whereas the Warrior is Vader. I've had a theory for a long time, because I've seen interviews about the creation and design of the classes on the Sith side. I've had a theory for a while. You remember how we talked about how I theorized that the Republic was literally tacked on and wasn't originally part of the design docs? I have a theory that some classes were kind of merged and smushed around to accommodate that, and that Sith Inquisitor was actually supposed to be two separate classes at one point in time. Because Sith Inquisitor can either be a dual saber stealth DPS. So let me just put this in simple terms. Sith Inquisitor can be a rogue, a tank, a healer, or a mage. That's without the use any spec thing. That's just what an Inquisitor can be. Now, we could argue that, and I'm not interested in arguing it. I'm just bringing it up because I feel like that probably was supposed to be spread out more, rather than smushed together. That's probably true, Django. The catch is, I have no evidence of that, whereas I have quite a bit of evidence that it's not true, which is why I just kind of raised my eyebrow at the whole thing. Either way. Hi, Evo. We're playing you. Although, I guess... Yeah, no. This is you. I disagree with everything, Gum Gum.
Ah, the
I do,
last
though.
one.
I even covered it in DS9.
Always the latecomer. Now we can see what the Hermit thinks of you, Slime. Acolyte Corey. Step forward, please.
So this is the nice one
Yes,
from earlier.
Overseer.
You are a weak, pathetic rodent, and even a lunatic like Spindrel can see this. And that means...
And she's dead. This is also important.
Meet our newcomer, Fawn Alt. This is real Sith strength, and he will tear you apart and crush your bones, slaves. Look on him. No connections left in the world, but pure Sith blood. This is Lord Zash's future apprentice, not filth like you.
Nice to meet you, Fawn. Hope Harkin treats you better than he treats us.
Save your well wishes for someone who cares, slave.
Step this way, slave. I want to speak to you privately. The rest of you get out of here. You know your trials. You too, Fawn. Spindrel awaits. Now, listen to me. Spindrel is a lunatic. His approval means nothing. You are filth, and you will die. Is that clear?
As an unmuddied lake.
Good. Now, your second trial. Lord Zash has requested a special trial for you, which you will no doubt fail. Go to Inquisitor Zinn in the jails. He will fill you in on the details, and most likely hasten your demise.
Don't count on my demise, Harkin. I don't die easy.
Don't boast, slave. I don't want to see you again until you're back from the jails. That's all.
So, did you catch that? Because we're already seeing the improved writing of the Sith Inquisitor side. Fawn hasn't been to Spindrel yet. I love... Not only do I love that in general, I love how the game doesn't really call attention to it. It's just, alright. Everyone else, you've done your things. Fawn, you need to go actually do your first trial. Slave, why don't you go ahead and move on to your second trial? I love that. It really shows the preferred treatment that Harkin is giving to him without shoving it into your face too hard. While we're on the subject, someone asked, why is Harkin so biased towards Fawn? Specifically, I have no idea. In general, I imagine Harkin just bet on that particular character and said, yep, nope, that's the one. Shrug. To my knowledge, we never learned of a specific reason why Harkin actually hates Fawn. Or, excuse me, not hates, is fast-tracking Fawn. Now, hang on. There's one other brilliant thing about all of this. Remember everything I just told you about Korriban being intended to be a crucible? I also told you about how there's a lot of idiots who get fast-tracked through, you know, incompetence or pampereds or whatever. The interesting facet of this, and I know this wasn't intentional, at least in-universe, is that the people who have everything going against them can and do manage to go through the crucible. Basically, the system works, even though it's arguably not being designed to work. Harkin is forcing us to do the hardest tasks, constantly and consistently, while facing up against someone who is arguably our better in every way. Now, of course, we could have just broken before him, but because we stand and rise up to it, we prove the Sith mentality correct. We go through the crucible, we go through the Darwinianum, and we actually succeed. In spite of everything being stacked against us. Like, I don't even have Gigapudding on my side. Can you imagine? Oh, God! It's okay. Wait. Which one of them is Gigapudding? It doesn't matter. We'll just leave both in there. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Harkin's doing his job without even meaning to. Probably without even realizing it. And we'll talk about the Sith Warrior intro and how this relates to this when we get there.
Acolyte, you've arrived. And not a moment too soon. Harkin has given me very specific instructions. You were raised as a slave, but must discard those traits and learn to control others. And I have just the task for that end. Meet this drivelling excuse for an acolyte. He will be your victim.
Victim, This sounds like it could be fun.
This is not an idle diversion, acolyte. A short while ago, there was what we call an unauthorized murder here in the Academy. A rivalry among apprentices resulted in death. Interrogate him. Make him tell you who committed this crime at any cost.
Cover your ears. This may get a little loud.
Thank you for the warning, but I prefer to cherish every scream.
Please, don't hurt me. I don't know anything.
Scream, weakling. I want to hear your suffering.
Please, don't do that again. I'll do anything.
What shouldn't I do again? This?
Stop! Please! All right, I'll talk. You'll kill me, but I'll talk. The murderer is an apprentice named Essor Kayan.
Hold on, I need to show off something. I'm sorry.
Please.
It's okay, Aleph. I just want to talk.
Yeah, right. I know what you want, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know anything.
Then I guess we have to do this the hard way.
Please, don't do that again. I'll do anything.
Entertain me. Give me a song or something.
Sing? Are you serious? I mean, sure. Yes, what should I...
I don't care. Just make it something cheerful.
Okay. All right. They say it's a perfect galaxy, a great day to be alive. Dee-dum, dee-dum, dee-dum. I'm sorry, I'm too nervous. I can't remember any of the words. Please, just let me go.
You really need to learn to project your voice.
Stop! Please! All right, I'll talk. You'll kill me, but I'll talk. The murderer is an apprentice named Essor Kayan. You have to protect me, or he'll kill me.
I doubt that. He'll be too busy being punished for murder.
Kayan's master is a Dark Council member. Might as well try fighting the Emperor himself. Kayan won't get so much as a reprimand. But when Kayan finds out, he'll come after me.
What exactly does this have to do with me?
Of course, it's not your problem. Why should you care? Maybe if I'm lucky, Kane will put me out quickly.
You don't have to tell me. I heard the name loud and clear, though I sorely wish I hadn't. Essor Kane. Kane's master is a Dark Council member. I'd be a fool to oppose him. But anyway, your trial here is done. I will send my commendations to Overseer Harkin. You may return to him now.
No more torture. But I was just getting started.
I know. It's so hard to stop once you've started. Perhaps later, if you survive your trials. It has been most pleasant watching you work, Acolyte. Truly, I wish you the best of luck in your remaining trials.
Oh yeah, he's just such a lovely person. A good thing the Emperor is such a pushover.
Well, well, well. I had been looking forward to cutting another one of you down, but it looks like I'll be spared the trouble. Unsurprisingly, Nylok has gone missing. Also, unsurprisingly, Fawn has passed his first trial. It's only a matter of time before he tramples you all underfoot.
I'll tear you apart where you stand, slave.
Patience, Fawn. An accident in the tombs is much more convincing. Now the lot of you know your next task. Go. I want to speak to Fawn and our latecomer. Now, slave. Zin says you handled yourself expertly, and as much as I find this difficult to believe, Lord Zash is satisfied with his evaluation. Undoubtedly, Zin helped you in some way, but you will not have his help on the next trial. Both you and Fawn will have trials of intellect, trials that test your ability to apply your understanding of the Force to solve problems.
You don't expect a slave to be a match for me in intellect. I've been trained under the greatest teachers.
Calm down, Fawn. I certainly do not expect this slave to be a match for you. That's why you will have separate trials.
Truly, your generosity astounds.
You're only digging your own grave. Fawn, you will go to the library on the second floor of the Academy and translate the following texts for Lord Zash.
Yes, Overseer.
Slave. Deep in the ancient, monster-infested tomb of Marka Ragnos, there is a holocron filled with dark secrets and encased in a great stone monument. No one has figured out how to release the holocron from its stone prison in over 1,000 years. You will bring this holocron to me, or you will die.
The more you make me hate you, the stronger I become, Harkin. And one of these days, I'm going to be strong enough to crush you.
You will never be strong enough, slave. You will bring back the holocron, or hope that the spirit of Marka Ragnos himself returns to end your miserable existence. Now go.
Don't mind me. Listen, Marka Ragnos is just an idiot. They do react to you a little bit differently if you're human or Sith blood, but it's usually like literally one line of dialogue different once in a blue moon. It's not a commonality. In fact, it's pretty much just, are you human or Sith? No. Oh, okay, we'll change the dialogue slightly. That's kind of as far as that goes.
We were told to complete the trials alone. You survived them. It can't be that bad.
You wear the robes of a Sith, but you are not one of us, alien. I look at you, and I wonder, are you among the truly loyal, or do you hide treason in your heart?
Like that, Evo. Did you hear that? The alien comment. That's about all we got there.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Defiance of authority is a hallmark of the immature and the subversive. I recommend you reconsider your attitude.
There is one threat our Empire must remain forever vigilant against. Those within our own ranks who undermine and weaken us.
Intelligence reports indicate this valley shelters traitors. Acolytes who seek to destroy our Emperor's carefully built order and replace it with their own weak-minded heresies.
They hide among the faithful and obedient. But make no mistake, they will destroy us all, given the chance.
We've watched as the traitors scuttle about this valley and plot against us. We know their faces and their names. It is the Emperor's will that the sands of Korriban be slaked with the blood of these traitors. Prove your allegiance by executing them.
Okay.
It will be a great honor to serve you, my lord.
And in serving me, you serve the Emperor. Remember that, as you exterminate those vermin in the valley.
I'll give you the means to identify the traitors. Eliminate enough of them to prove your loyalty. Then return to Inquisitor Arzanan.
I'll be watching your progress with great interest. Go now. See that the Emperor's will be done.
So, we actually mentioned this before, I'm pretty sure, but bonus question. No, I'm good, Giga, thank you. No, no! I run! So, bonus question. Do you think that any of these acolytes are actually guilty of anything and we're actually comparing against an actual database that says, hey, this person's a proven traitor? Or do you think it's just randomly picking people out of a hat when we scan them? Like, it's basically flipping a coin every time we scan someone. No. Yeah, an actual traitor. Does it matter? And that is the problem act right there. I personally prefer the idea that it's random. That amuses me more. However, in the interest of fairness, it's probably not random. It's probably just a bunch of people who are currently out of favor. Remember, these are authorized killings. I'm sorry, every time I hear him going, "Wah," my first thought is, wee!
I watched you deal with those traitors. Well done. That was an impressive display of loyalty. Take this reward as a token of the Emperor's favor, and wear this badge. It marks you as a defender of our Empire.
Stay vigilant. Our enemies lurk where you least expect them.
Secretly, I am your enemy! So, while we're in flight, I want to mention something. So last night I was playing World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, the classic version, in order to get my mount. Just a little quick thing me and Pax wanted to do. So we go ahead and do it and play it and go through the Death Knight starter zone. It took us most of our evening to do so. And I realized something, and it's so strange because I'm going to lose all of my viewers over saying this, but Wrath of the Lich King sucked. My God. Like, I know that vanilla sucks. I've done that several times. I've gone back to WoW Classic. You know, just for capturing footage and the like. But oh my God! Going back to Wrath was just, ugh! It was like being punched in the jaw over and over. Especially going straight from Tor, which took a lot of gameplay innovations and quality of life features from modern WoW.
Come closer, apprentice. Don't be afraid to examine my research. I trust the sight of a messy operating table doesn't disturb you?
Your lab looks like the inside of a beast's belly.
So quick to turn away in disgust. You're
Yes.
denying yourself knowledge and power. This used to be a Toccata, The hound-like creatures infesting Korriban's tombs. On the surface, nothing special. But I alone can see this creature is an expression of pure dark side energy. Aggression made manifest.
Your ego is overinflated.
I have gazed into the depths of the abyss and found revelations there others only dream of. The Force is alive. It expresses its will in the physical world. This Tukata was one such form.
Where do you get all this free time?
You judge me, yet have no understanding of my work. I've dissected hundreds of Tukata, forging a direct connection to the dark side. Each beast I examine advances me toward perfect unity. I now stand at a new frontier, but find myself thwarted. My most perfect specimen, a Tukata mutant, escaped to the tombs before I could analyze it.
Life is rough, but at least it's interesting.
You don't understand. I've lost a vital key to unlocking the dark side's true essence.
Oh,
You
no!
delve those tombs
Anyway.
under trials. You could hunt that Tukata for me and retrieve its perfect brain. My apprentice, Melora, saw which tomb the mutant beast fled into. Find out what she knows, assist me, and you will be rewarded.
Why not send your apprentice to recover this beast?
She's more suited to the laboratory than the tombs. She lacks your fire, I'm afraid. Ask Melora where to seek the Tukata, and return to me when you have its brain.
Sure thing. Hey, Melora.
Seeking Lord Renning's lost pet, are you? Don't waste your time. That fool's research is pointless.
How did you discover this?
My master is insane. Wasn't it obvious when you spoke to him? Renning deludes the Dark Council into believing he's advancing Sith knowledge. The truth is, he wastes the Empire's time and resources dissecting mindless animals. But if his experiments were discredited, he would be banished, and I would be rewarded.
What am I supposed to do about it?
Look, just a minor alteration to the mutant Tukata's brain would allow me to reveal my master as a fraud. Bring me the brain before delivering it to Lord Renning, and I'll make it worth your while.
We'll see, if I have time.
You'll earn rewards from both the master and his apprentice. It's a better deal. The mutant Tukata escaped to the tomb of Mark of Ragnos. It's much larger than the others, so it's easy to spot. Return to me with the brain before you see Lord Renning, and I'll take care of the rest.
Okay. Oh, God! Better get out of here before that hits us. So, let's see here. Bamber asked, what was the main offender for Wrath Classic? Does everything qualify? That's not fair. You know what, really? That's the actual answer is the gameplay. Now, not the combat. Everything about the gameplay. The interface, the HUD, the quest indicators, or lack thereof, the quest flow, the backtracking, the placement, the drop rates, the randomization, wrong backload. The vehicle boredom problem I've actually talked about before, which actually started in Wrath, and thankfully ended in Wrath. Just everything, really. Hang on, so that's a heal, which we'll put over here. That should be, yep, that's Force Storm. Put that there. Yeah, why does WoW Classic sell? So I have 3 theories on that. Or rather, I think there's 3 categories of people like that. Category 1, let's just get the elephant out of the way. Nostalgia. Just nostalgia. Some people think older things are better, whether they are or not. And notice the way I phrase that. If you know anything about me, you know that something being old, new, or in between doesn't matter. Whether something is good or bad is what matters to me. There are older games better than newer games, and newer games better than older games. Their age barely has anything to do with that. The nostalgia problem is when people prefer older games for no reason other than the fact that they are older games. Point number 2. I can't remember what it's called. There's an actual gaming concept, which it's about resistance. I forget what it's called. Friction, that's it. Gaming friction. It has to do with when the game's desires and when the player's desires don't coincide, and you have to overcome the game in order to push forwards, right? Gaming friction is a mandatory aspect of gaming design, and something that people need to very, very carefully design, work around, etc. The problem is, in my opinion, a lot of players tend to prefer gaming friction not in something to overcome, but something to endure. Now, I'm not going to say that's good or bad game design, even though I have opinions on the matter, because objectively, the difference is just, are you fighting the mechanisms of the game, or are you fighting the content of the game? If you are fighting the content of the game, like challenging boss battles or interesting dungeon designs, fascinating puzzles or whatever, then I think that's awesome, and you feel good for overcoming it. Friction good. If it's because the interface sucks, and the duration sucks, and the padding is terrible, and it takes forever to do anything, well, I think that sucks. But I know with total certainty there's a fairly large group of people who like that kind of friction. Just pushing against those kind of boring, basic, repetitive tasks, because they think that by virtue... I'm trying really hard not to say this in an insulting manner, because they prefer enduring the game in order to earn it, rather than defeating the game in order to earn it. There we go. I think I said that as neutrally as I'm capable of doing. Now, none of that changes my opinion, and I will always ding that stuff for bad game design, because I do think it's bad game design. And we've talked this 1,000 times over, and I don't think my opinion's ever changing on that front. But I do know that there are people who absolutely want that kind of endurance friction rather than content friction. Reason number 3, by the way, is to be contrarian.
Let's see how you like this.
Oh no! I mean, one of the things I specifically call out when it comes to game design is penalty for failure, which is a form of gaming friction. And I shouldn't say every game needs penalty for failure, but most games do need to have some kind of penalty for failure. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Just open, damn it!
We did it! Which reason do I think is the worst? Honestly, the pure nostalgia thing. If you like different game design, then you like different game design, and that's fine. Just because we disagree doesn't mean anything. But if you think something that you know is bad is better just because it's older, or just because it's from your childhood or whatever, and you cling to that, you're getting in the way of a lot of things. It has been very strongly argued that one of the reasons that Hollywood has been getting so bad for 20 years now is specifically because of the nostalgia arc. It's a very, 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 very common human problem. People prefer things they know they like. And I'm going to go with Melora, if you don't mind. We don't have to. Right, thank you for reminding me. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to put something on my bar. There we go. Cool.
Have you recovered the mutant Takata brain yet? I'm eager to conclude the business we discussed.
I literally can't.
It's all yours. Enjoy.
Excellent. This chemical will make it appear as though Renning is falsifying his research. There. All that remains is for me to whisper the right words in the wrong ears. I'm transferring credits to your account now. Give Renning the brain and collect his reward too. You've made out quite well.
Pray this doesn't come back to haunt me.
Save your tiresome threats. I'll take care of everything. We shouldn't be seen speaking again. Lord Renning might suspect us. Give him the brain.
Oh god, enemies. Okay, they de-aggroed. Let me get out of here. Anyways, the comfort thing, let me be very, very clear about this. If I go to a nice restaurant, I'm probably going to order something I know I like. You know why? Because I know I like it. The problem isn't in the comfort food, whether it's movies or games or books or music. The problem is when it's taken to an extreme. As is true with so many aspects of human society, especially fiction and entertainment. It doesn't really become a problem until it gets to an extreme. Cough, cough, Hollywood.
You have the brain at last. Excellent work. I trust it wasn't too much trouble.
See you around, Dr. Winter.
There was much bloodshed.
Yes, I would imagine so. Just look at the size of that specimen. I must continue my research at once. Great discoveries await. Take a reward and go.
You might want to consider bathing sometime.
Yes, you may stop talking now. Goodbye.
In fact, he says that pretty much no matter what you pick. If you're like, remember me when you're super awesome, he's like, yes, piss off. Uh-oh. Iliani's face continues to develop. I still don't know what I think of her facial structure. Her skull. Evo. And that's all I'm going to say right now, because I'm terrified of saying anything else. I don't want you to beat me up for not liking one of your sketches, because your sketches are awesome. I was actually thinking about using it for someone other than Lilith. Like, actually, I had a specific person in mind, and now I can't think of it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So let's hit some questions while we walk back here. And by walk back, I mean, what am I doing? I can warp. God damn it. Wake up, Lore. How would I rank the consular companions? Well, that's a good question. Let's pull up a list of consular companions so I can remember all of them. Don't want to miss any. Let's see. Consular. Alright, so. I would probably put Zenith at the top. Then Nadia. Then I'm going to put Ereso, which I know sounds like a weird pick. But he beats out Theron because Theron's merely okay. The only reason Theron's any good is because of Holiday. And at the very freaking bottom we have Kaizen, who freaking sucks. And got 2 negatives by himself.
You better not be wasting my time, slave. You better have the holocron.
Oh, I do.
A fake. Or stolen from the library, probably. I'll deal with you later. Now, I believe it's time for another demonstration. Gur, step forward.
Yes, Overseer.
Fawn, kill him.
With pleasure, Overseer.
Let Gur be an example to you. Fawn destroyed him easily, like he will destroy all of you. Are there any other objections?
You're heartless, Harkon. How can you be so cruel?
I am Sith. Something you will never be. Now the rest of you know the next trial. Go. You, slave, stay here. Now, slave, you think yourself pretty clever getting that holocron, don't you?
I really am the best.
You are lucky Lord Zash finds you useful. Now for your trial. The last, darkest secrets of Tulak Horde are buried in his tomb. Lord Zash wants this text. But the final resting place of the dead lord is not easily trespassed.
Who is this?
First to die there.
Yes, I get it already. You send me into a tomb to do the impossible, hoping I die, and I come back and prove you wrong.
Shut up, slave. I've had about enough of your mockery. Do not come back here until you've gotten the text from Tulak Horde's tomb. Out of my sight, slave!
Yeah, the voice modulation fit that weirdly well. Go figure. So, how long after the Korriban cinematic does this in Warrior take place? I'm actually not sure. Because the cinematics cover a decent spread of time. So I don't know is the answer. I'm looking up the voice actor because I'm kind of curious now. Oh, is this who I think it is?
So, yet another acolyte stands in the shadow of our academy. You must consider yourself privileged. Tell me, you who would be Sith, have you seen much of our civilization so far? Have you been awed by this world's power and glory?
All I've seen is dust and tombs. Not very impressive.
Then you have not been blinded by your master's claims. Korriban was wrought by the true-blooded Sith millennia ago. Our ancestors, a crimson race of conquerors, raised the statues around us. Over the eons, however, our people mingled with slaves. Now the red markings of true Sith are rare, and the purity of this planet is in question.
Some elaboration is required.
True purity and strength are carried in the blood. I worry that our blood is being diluted over generations. In the Emperor's name, I have come to learn whether the Academy's overseers are Sith or not. You will be my instrument.
Who are you to judge whether Sith are pure or inferior?
As an agent of the Emperor and the Dark Council, I will report to them, and if necessary, seek ways to restore hereditary supremacy. I possess an ancient device, a holocron, that can read and record bloodlines. It will pulse with life near the overseers. Allow the holocron to fulfill its purpose. Stand near the overseers as it attunes to their blood purity. Then return here, and I will learn the truth.
Damn it, I was stuck in a cutscene. I wanted to drop that bombshell, but Sarura got there while I was in a cutscene. So yes, the voice of Harkin is the voice of Urianger from Final Fantasy XIV. For those of you who didn't catch that. It's Timothy Watson. He's actually done a few decent roles over the years. He does a lot of stuff for Vampire. He did a bunch of roles in Dragon Quest XI. You know, etc. He's done stuff all over the place. You've probably heard him a couple of times.
I have need of you, young one. Whatever errand your master sent you on can wait until we are through.
What gives you the right to command me?
I am Inquisitor Urinth, and I represent the intelligence operations of the Sith. We are currently holding an important Jedi prisoner, a spy who attempted to reach this academy. We have plans for him. Upon capture, we found the Jedi's mind simple to manipulate. We fed him false memories through a combination of drugs and sorcery. Soon he will return to his Jedi commanders and report the lies we fed him. He will know nothing of what we've done. All that remains is to stage his escape.
How are you going to pull that off?
You are young enough, new enough, to be a plausible traitor. You will go to the Jedi, talk to him, do as he asks, earn his trust. When that is done, set him free. Do whatever is necessary to get him out of prison. We will ensure that he reaches his ship and returns safely to his Jedi friends.
How do I know you won't accuse me of treason?
Prove your strength. Prove that you are truly Sith, and all the accusations in the world will mean nothing. You will find the Jedi Quarian Dorgis in the jail cells. He is still confused and should not be overly difficult to convince.
Back in. Let's do these after the next bundle, but whatever. No. Dr. Butcher just left. Palmer already answered that. Lotario said Obi-Wan said that he failed Anakin. What did you do wrong he could have done better? Yes. I'm really not joking. Obi-Wan failed Anakin so hard and so often, it's a little bit strange. Where? Oh god, I've got phantom quests on my map. Hang on, where am I going? There it is. Yeah, no, everybody failed Anakin. It's not like Obi-Wan gets all the blame, but Obi-Wan is also to blame. I've always taken the stance that Obi-Wan essentially had to choose between being loyal to his friend or loyal to his country, tried to have it both ways, and that didn't work out.
There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. The Jedi Code will guide me.
I take it you're the Jedi who was captured?
I'm Corian Dorjus. I'm a Jedi. Even here. Even on Korriban. Why do you care? Why are you here?
No one deserves suffering so extreme.
You mean that? A Sith with a conscience. You're here to help me. Why am I talking in circles? What's wrong with me?
The Inquisitors are messing with your mind. They pumped you full of drugs.
I suspected as much. It's so hard to think straight. There's no passion. There's serenity. There's no chaos. There's harmony. The Jedi Code will guide me. I can focus. If you want to help me escape, I'll need my belongings, my lightsaber, my comlink. Before I was captured, the Sith chased me into the tomb of Tulak Horde. I hid my belongings inside an urn to lighten my load. That is where you'll need to go.
There we go. There's something we'll have to really decide if it's in the rewrite or not. The Great Hyperspace War. In my headcanon, who is it? My headcanon that the clone who helped Padme is Rex. No. I'm not sure who else it would be, but I'm still going to lean towards no. Okay, let me just hold up this holocron to you for a second. Don't mind me. Do I think the Sith have a crippling tendency to have their attachments become just another chain to be broken in the Sith code? That's an odd statement, Casual. Do you mind clarifying? That's fine. You know, it's nice having rocket boots because one of the things I remember most about this stupid temple is that you can't walk, or excuse me, you can't mount inside the temple. I have oftentimes played this game where I have a mount before I leave Korriban, but every time I go to that temple, walk, 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 walk. Yeah, I'll go and get him now. Just get that out of the way. Does the Empire understand when lives are spent, not wasted when in the military? Yes? That's an odd question. Yes, they do have brains. Brains have. Brains good. Oh, that's right. Malgus was a moron about that. I forgot about that. That's not true. I didn't forget about it. It's one of the reasons why I think Malgus is an idiot, despite being better than most of the Sith. I suppose, you know, low bar and all that. The first video game I ever played was Pac-Man. Unfortunately, I can say that pretty definitively, and it's pretty boring. Sorry. Yeah, we'll turn that in a minute. Let's go ahead and move. An alternate history question. If the Japanese, instead of going to war with China, waited a few years and then invaded America, about the time they attacked Pearl Harbor. Oof. Okay. Whoops. Let me go get this quest first. Forget. That's a heroic. Never mind. We're good. We're good. Don't mind me. No way in hell. I'm not sure what would have changed exactly, but other than the fact that Japan wouldn't have been guilty of some of the most horrific war crimes of the era, and of course, you know, they would have been a little bit less spent in terms of manpower and materials, but that's not happening. So I don't think it would have substantially changed the course of the war in any direction. Of course. Great. I need to keep remembering what class I am. Respect. I need to use the right terms, too. Opinion on the Sith pureblood as a species? I think they look cool except when they don't. The spikes are cool, the tentacles are not. Well, yeah, most of the China attacks was a resource thing. They wanted the, what they call it, the co-prosperity Asian sphere, or whatever the hell they called it. Whoop, hello. And he descended from on high, like lightning! I shouldn't have done that. Alright, how do Sith usually see and treat positive emotions? Usually they're like, weakness, pathetic, terrible, awful, pathetic, weak, terrible, weak, pathetic, weak. And then they die, stupidly and pathetically, terribly and weakly. It's really funny, actually. So the general idea here is that the Sith are drunk on the dark side. Not just using the dark side, drunk on it. No, Lothario. So, what that matters for is whether the dark side is evil or not, if we're looking at Tor or at Star Wars as a whole, especially in the AU. In both directions, that's not happening. Because once you become drunk on the dark side twists it, either because it's a force or because it's evil. So even if you go to the dark side for a good reason, you know what I mean, for a more positive emotion, that emotion's going to be twisted, as virtually every positive emotion has a negative echo. Yes, by the way, Evo. So, in short, the Sith tend to... Any Sith that actually holds on to things like love, or compassion, or kindness, or anything positive like that, tends to not do so for very long. See the aforementioned Darth Malgus, who murdered his wife, whom he loved, because he perceived her as a weakness he could not afford. I absolutely plan to change this in the rewrite. Well, let me walk that back. I plan to discuss changing this in the rewrite. Because, again, we have to debate what the Force is, and that is, as usual, at the bare bones of everything. I need to just kill stuff, don't I? Yeah. Wow, that's... Better drop it on that of me. Yeah, love can become possessive. Kindness can become cruelty. I don't know the whole list, but it's something we've seen several times in real life, but also in fiction. So, we'll see. Anyways, excuse me. What was my... Oh, I already answered that one. How would my version of the true Sith look aesthetically? Go look at my Sith warrior, my actual one. And there you go. Possibly casual. I'm going to go ahead and admit ignorance on that front. Don't have a lot of memories of that book because I didn't like it. So I didn't really retain it and I never read it again. Seriously though, who's Cara Dunes? I don't know that thing. I know who Giga is and I know who Tyron is. Yeah, I've been paying attention to the class design here so far. And granted, we're only like level 9. But it's interesting how this class compares to the sniper, specifically. Okay, that's cool, but who is that person? It's Vigilant! I knew it! Now I know. Now I can actually say, hey, Vigilant, instead of, hey, random person. We are. By the way, if I don't get exactly 7+ questions, Evo... You know, I don't have an answer for that, The Crow. For the same reason I don't remember it very strongly.
Step forward. I assume you've completed my task. I will take the holocron now. It is time we judge the purity of your overseer's blood. Time we know how much of the ancients survive in their veins.
Of course, whatever you say.
You make a mockery of the source of your own power. Pathetic.
That's not...
The holocron. It glows white. So little Sith blood in all of the Academy. And only one of the overseers wears the red marks. This is shameful. I will bring this to the attention of the Dark Council. Measures must be taken if the true Sith to survive.
What's your plan?
I'll advise purges and enslavement of those with the thinnest blood. And uplift the pure. It will be the Dark Council's decision, however. You have served well. It is too late for me to alter your training. But in the future, perhaps acolytes will kneel at the feet of the pure-blooded.
So, I don't think any of the council are pure-blooded. So I have a feeling they're not going to go along with that. I was going to say, that's literally anti-Sith mentality, but whatever.
I know you. We talked before. My head's clearer now, Sith.
Oh, one is, my bad.
It's all here. The comlink, my lightsaber, everything I hid. You're going through with it. With all this, once the guards change shifts, I think I can slip out of the Academy. But what about you? Will you be okay?
Me? I'll be fine. I'm more worried about you.
That's very kind of you, Sith. I still don't understand why you're doing this, but I thank you.
Yeah, no.
It's a trap. Your memories were altered. When you report back to the Jedi, you'll tell them exactly what the Sith want you to.
What? Then that explains why you would help me out, at least, but not why you would tell me the truth. It isn't important now, but I will speak to my masters of this. For the moment, I should go. I'm sorry the Empire took you in instead of the Jedi. If things had been different, maybe you could have been part of the Order.
Valron, that's interesting. Because Valron, well, we'll talk about him when we get there. That's Sith Warrior. So I'll answer you in a second, Evo, I swear.
Yes. Yes, remarkable. Magnificent. You slave. No. Acolyte. You're the one who brought me this magnificent holocron from the tomb of Marka Ragnos, yes?
So I want to stress that I'm not joking when I say this. Zash's voice actress is getting her own story positive.
Yes, my lord. I found the holocron.
Unbelievable. 1,000 years buried in that tomb. The Sith Lords passing it by. And then the most unlikely person comes along. Tell me, how did you manage it?
I shot lightning at it, and it opened.
Such a simple solution. Why did none of us think of that? We must have thought too deeply on it, believed too strongly that it could not be done. Or perhaps we were simply not meant to open it. Your work so far, in bringing back this holocron, and now the text from Tulak Hod's tomb, has me intrigued. I am watching your progress eagerly. I have high hopes for you, Acolyte. Sky high.
Really? Harkon seems to favor Fawn.
Harkon's only purpose is to weed out the weak. Beyond that, his opinion means nothing. Good luck, Acolyte. Good luck.
Well, she's going to be following my career with great interest. Now, I hate to point this out, but you notice how Zash is already more Sith than Harkon? Because Harkon is like, hey, I'm going to do all these things to make this easy for you, Fawn. And Zash says, you're doing pretty good. I hope you do better. And then walks away. We'll see more of that not too long from now.
I was just about to send Fawn off. What delayed you, slave?
I like to stop and smell the blood.
You'll be smelling your own blood soon. Now, did you collect the text from Tulak Horde's tomb?
Of course. As always, I'm brilliant.
Give it here. No doubt it's been badly damaged. It's what we get for sending a worthless alien to do a Sith's job. Isn't that right, Fawn?
What are we waiting for, Overseer? Why don't we kill this wretch now?
You have a big mouth, slave, but no combat skills. I don't want to see you again until you've satisfied the Korriban instructors. The training facility is on the second floor of the academy and is usually reserved for the Dark Lords and their apprentices. This is not a promotion, and you are not to speak to anyone except the training master when you are up there, understand? You are not fit for their presence.
Please tell me Fawn can come. We'll have so much fun.
Fawn has been training at combat his whole life. He was born to be Sith. You are just as likely to chop your own arm off as not, slave. Now get going to the second floor training grounds. You don't want to keep the instructors waiting.
So it's funny you bring that up, Django. I don't think there's some kind of out-of-character mistake someone made, but what I think... So this is a spoiler. But we find out later that Harkon is doing his job here. Let me try to explain this a little bit. So it's down a bit to interpretation, but the next time we actually see Harkon interacting with the next group of people who are seeking to be acolytes. And he acts with them pretty much exactly the same as he did to us. In other words, the idea being that this is all essentially just an act. Now, I don't know how true that is because he does seem genuinely upset when, Fawn fails and we succeed. But at the same time, it would actually make more sense to me, to be completely honest, that Harkon just kind of is doing this. And yeah, in other words, that he is following orders. That's what I'm trying to get at. So someone asked earlier, why is he favoring Fawn? The most obvious answer is because someone else is promoting Fawn. Someone else has told Harkon, hey, push this guy, he's a pureblood. We've literally already seen a lord who is pushing the pureblood identity. We've already seen 3 quests, which are all talking about the pureblood thing. Now, this ties into Django's question, was he supposed to be pureblood? I actually think if this theory is true, it would make more sense that Harkon is not pureblood, because that just emphasizes the position he is effectively being shoved into. Now, that is a theory. It is not a statement of fact. It's just something to chew on. I do, Tyron. Thank you for reminding me. That's why I wasn't noticing those. Really need those on this character.
So the Jedi is preparing his escape. You did well. Not perfectly, but I have confidence the operation will succeed. Our business is concluded. I will make note of your assistance in my report.
I don't need your praise.
No, I imagine you don't. Take these tokens as payment for your service, and know that no Jedi can threaten Korriban. Now go.
And yes, I have seen his codex. Oculus. I stand by my statements, it's just... The only thing the codex adds is that he's actually a old guard who's having trouble adapting to the new, which honestly describes 90% of the Sith, so it's kind of a whatever. I don't actually know. Easy way to test. Where's the codex in-game? I haven't looked at it forever. There it is. Let's see. Note. Nope. I only have 2 things. In fact, I have very few entries, so yeah, no. Was the end. Oh my god, Giga! I'll save you.
Hello there, friend. You remember my brother and me from downstairs? With Harkon, right?
Sorry it had to be this way.
We don't like it any more than you do. Well, maybe a little more.
Now. You really don't know whether I like this or not.
I'm sorry, girl. I liked you. I really did.
But Harkon made us a deal, see? We kill you, we go home.
Come on, do we have to do this? I thought we were friends.
We don't want to. But we know we can't beat Fawn, and we'll never be Sith. At least this way we can go home, alive.
Quiet, Balak. The time for talk is past. Fight for your life, Acolyte.
Now... This is, well, a lie is the simplest way to put it. Yeah, the camera is doing some weird things with placements of people. Because, for those of you not aware, once you are Force sensitive, there are requirements placed upon you within the Sith Empire by virtue of being Force sensitive. If you are Force sensitive, you don't get to leave the Academy. That's not even an option on the board. In fact, that'll become a plot point at several points in time. Where do you... Oh, there we go.
We can speak another time.
No?
The slaves require my attention.
Oh, that's... okay. Someone else's quest. Got it. So my point is, I think that Harkon was just screwing them over. It's like, alright, you did it. You killed them. Now die. Hi, Harkon.
Well, well. Look who shows up at long last. I half expected to hear you'd crossed some Dark Lord upstairs and finally got yourself killed. None of the others have shown up either. I assume they're dead by now, which means you and Fawn are the last ones.
Speaking of Fawn, he seems conspicuously absent.
You only wish it, slave. No. You took so long returning, I sent Fawn ahead. Your final trial will be to retrieve an ancient map from the innermost chamber of Naga Sado's tomb, which has never been breached in thousands of years. But before you get the map, you'll have to awaken an ancient assassin called a Dashard that sleeps in the tomb. You cannot access the map without him. Understand?
What's so special about this map?
Lord Zash wants it. Oh, and one more thing. You'll be competing with Fawn for this map. Whoever brings it back will be Lord Zash's apprentice. The other will die. And Fawn's already started, so my advice... Run, slave. Run.
One moment, please.
Lord Zash. What are you doing here?
Overseer, are you implying that I, a Lord of the Sith, don't have the right to go where I please within the Academy of the Sith?
No, of course not, Lord Zash.
Good. I saw the last acolyte arrive. I wanted to see the hopefuls off on their final trial. Where's, the red one, Fawn?
He finished his trial early, so I sent him on rather than keeping him waiting for this.
Pity. I just finished translating the wonderful text this acolyte brought from Tulak Hord's tomb, and it's most illuminating. I don't know that the map can be retrieved without it.
What makes you say that?
It's too late. Fawn's already left. You can't just...
Give one acolyte an unfair advantage over the other? Overseer, when has being Sith ever been about being fair? Now, my dear acolyte, here is what you must do to free the Dashard. There are rods scattered throughout the tomb of Naga Sado. These rods are the keys to the chamber where the ancient assassin is imprisoned. You will need to place the rods in the chamber door and electrify them. I don't know exactly the reason, but it is clear that you will not be able to retrieve the map without the Dashard. But Be careful. He is very dangerous.
I'll use caution.
I will return when both acolytes are back from the tomb. You will not do anything further to affect the outcome of the trial. Understood?
Yes, Lord Zash.
Good. And good luck, acolyte.
That was the exact moment I knew I was going to like Zash as a character, when I was first playing Inquisitor back in the day. Was that scene. You'll notice that's her second scene, by the way. So that's quick, easy, early, good establishment. Anyways, so I've got a bunch of questions in the queue now, but let's answer Evo's. Except she's gone. So let's answer someone else's. What? Okay. Oh, this is... Yeah, I know who this is.
Come here, child. Do you intend to explore the Academy? To know the world that gave birth to the Sith? You should linger here a while. I am Overseer Ragate, a keeper of the old ways. I sense you have potential, and I can help you if you like.
Everyone in the Academy seems to sense my potential.
But you have not yet come into your own. You have power and strength in the Force, but you must be tested beyond the trials your masters have set for you. I administer the rite of blood and bone, a ritual performed beyond this doorway. It is a rite acolytes have participated in for 10,000 years.
I'm sure you were young and pretty back then.
Yes, I am shriveled. I am infirm. Yet, I survive. More than most Sith can say. Learn from my example. In the chambers, past the gateway, there is a colony of Shyraks, my leather-winged, razor-taloned children and their brood. They guard a mountain of skulls, an altar to the Academy's failures. You must reach the bones before proceeding.
And once I reach the bones?
You must claim a skull from the mountain and return to the antechamber. Soak the skull in the blood pool and come to me. Once bone has turned red, I will look and see your nature written in crimson stains. And possibly a glimpse of your future.
I'll admit that does sound intriguing.
To complete the rite is to accept one's death, to steal one's own mortality and drown it in the fluid of life. That is the symbolic purpose. But it is also a trial of power, as are all Sith trials, a trial to test strength and to grant it. I will await you here. If you die, I will forget you.
Finally, you arrive. As disgusting as Overseer Harkon said. Regardless, Lord Zash has made it clear that all new acolytes must learn martial skills as well as face their trials. Though why anyone thinks you can be taught is beyond me.
That's not Kate Mulgrew, no.
I assume someone a bit more learned will be instructing me.
Someone with a bit less pull, you mean? Not for all the credits in the world. You will find the instructors in the Academy's archive. Hurry, and try not to embarrass your betters.
So, sorry, Evo. I probably lost her again at this point. Yeah, I know that one's inside. I'll do it when I come back. And the skull thing should be inside as well. I'm wrong. The skull is... okay. I thought the skull thing was in the caves. It's standard policy not to share answers like that, Nevo. Because that's the first and most obvious answer to your question. I shouldn't even have to explain this, but on the off chance that I do, if you're going to go book something, and you go up to a judge and say, you know, how will this meal go? And they tell you, there's a fairly good chance that that's actually going to affect, probably negatively, what you do in the making of the meal. It's a little bit of observer affects the observed kind of a thing. It's actually why, generally speaking, these kind of situations, they only call upon a judge if it's really important. In fact, usually the questions are not, will this mission succeed? It's, can we do to maximize success? Does that make sense? In short, most people are probably aware of the fact, at least hypothetically, God damn it, that the judge has been petitioned, and there's probably even been a response to that judge. I mean, why wouldn't they? I was just on autopilot. I was going on to the next dungeon, which I know where it is and what I'm doing there and everything about it, because I've done this 50,000 times. I kept forgetting that I still had a quest in here. Essentially not, Evo. It is literally standard operating policy to not tell. What would most likely happen, and I could picture this, is at least someone, probably not part of your cast, probably just someone on the ship, would at some point be like, did you ever get a response back from the judge? And the answer would probably just be a simple yes. And that's it. That's as far as I would likely go. Why did we... Okay, whatever. I don't care. Now, I had a big speech to talk about Sith and all that, and oh! So, you'll notice one other reason why the Empire tends to be better received in terms of storytelling than the Republic. Now, this is a theory. A lore theory, you might even say. I think that this was done deliberately, but I might not be sure about this. Many of the Republic quest givers and masters tend to operate under the proviso that tradition and not thinking are good. Most of the Sith who are portrayed as traditional non-thinkers are portrayed as bad.
I heard the screams of the Shirax and the rippling of the blood pool. I heard the sounds of death. I know you brought the red stained skull, and I must say, I am pleased.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Then you have a darker heart than most. The skull you carry, your rage, your actions drowned it with the dark side. It is part of you. I can read it. But although your nature is clear, your destiny is obscured to me. All I can do is offer a small gift, so that you may prepare yourself.
I am most grateful.
There is nothing to thank me for. Prize what you have accomplished here. You are part of a tradition almost as old as Korriban itself. And you have done well. Goodbye now, young Sith. This lesson is complete.
Okay. Now I think we're done inside. Yes, okay, good. Hey, Lolamlas. Yeah, it took us 2 days, although that took some work, admittedly. Yeah, you're gonna hear "I am most grateful" a lot. Like I said, the standardized responses are pretty bad on Inquisitor. I don't know why. Actually, I have a theory why. I think Inquisitor has the least manually crafted dialogue. I mean, I guess that's sounding like... What I mean by that is, some of the classes, like Sith Warrior or Agent, they very clearly thought out what a dark side version and what a light side version would be like. Like, they really thought it out and effectively wrote 2 storylines. Inquisitor feels like they wrote 1.5.
Acolyte, may I speak to you for a moment?
Of course you can.
Thank you. I'm honored that you would do me the courtesy. There was another acolyte, not long ago, who entered this tomb and did not come back. He died in there.
Tell me how he died.
I don't know, but I could tell he was dying. I heard him scream, even through the great tomb doors. The acolyte who went in there, he was a good sort, friendly and talkative. He said he was entering the tomb to prove himself to his father. I just thought it would be nice if somebody took his body back and told his father he didn't make it.
Yes, the father should be told that his son has fallen.
I'd never survive in there. And even if I did, I wouldn't be allowed to see his father. He is a Dark Honor Guard stationed in the Academy. None but Sith can ever set foot on the sacred ground where he stands watch. But you could find the body and bring it to his father. Please do this and honor the fallen.
I can absolutely do that.
Thank you so much. If you find the Acolyte's remains inside the tomb, let me know. I can tell you where to find his father in the Academy. Good luck.
That's not quite what I mean, Cashel, but I do kind of agree with you. From a roleplay perspective, what kind of character is my Inquisitor? Mad. Also, lightning is fun. Ugh, I hate this quest. Mostly I hate this character. Who is this? Who is speaking to Serun? Is it Acolyte? Is it Sith?
What are you supposed to be?
Serun does not know its kind, only its place. Serun once lived in the Academy, was once like you. Serun feasted on the scraps of the beast pens until the Overseer sent it away to starve.
Could you try to explain things from the beginning?
When Serun was small and weak, it lived in darkness, ate the things that crawled, and hid from the Sith. The Overseer Prithur found Serun, brought bones and meat, made Serun stronger, much better than supping on worms and rats.
Tell me what happened next.
Overseer Prithur stopped feeding special meals, kept Serun from getting stronger, sent it away. Serun hid in caves. Serun had no peace. Monsters hurt it. Serun is too weak to hurt monsters back. Serun needs strength from Prithor's meat. Needs power.
If Prythor's the one who exiled you to these caves, I doubt he'll change his mind about feeding you.
He could. He might. He could save Serun. He could find Prithor and make him give us special food. Serun would be strong enough to hunt then.
If Prythor is really behind all this, he may be worth investigating.
Overseer Prithor works in the beast pens. He will have scraps for Serun. Find him. Serun will reward you. Serun will wait for you here. Wait for its meal. Okay. Wow, right in the front door. Pathetic. Where is he? He's way in there, isn't he? Whatever. So, let's kill a bunch of people. I'm assuming you didn't see me torture someone into making them sing earlier, Lataria. Off topic. How powerful was the Hagaran from Homeworld at their height? Really powerful. It took an alliance of literally every other force in the galaxy, including the Bentusi, to bring them down. That really says all I feel it needs to. How many people do I think escaped like Kira? I'm gonna go with none. How do they do these tests for so many if there's like 10 tombs in the valley at most? Do the Cloaked Sith put all the artifacts back after they're done training? Actually, I tend to think that they just go in and find certain specific artifacts that are currently things that they're interested in. Ah, gotcha, Lataria. Well, you know, it was amusing. Could they have taken the Empire and the Republic here? Pass. I'm not going to answer that. There's way too many variables there. Like, you've got two settings, both dedicated towards technological progression and military combat. Both settings can use their FTL as a weapon. Both settings tend to lead towards super weapons. Both settings tend to have mega constructions and superstructures. Both settings are hindered by idiots on both sides, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, Kira Whitenose is correct. I'm pretty sure for the most part they just send people into the tombs like, hey, go find this. Go find a pot at the end of the tomb. Okay? We just happen to be petitioning to be the thingy apprentice of Lord Zash. How does Homeworld handle that FTL? It's actually really, really basic. It takes a very long time to spool up the drive, and you have to calculate it, obviously. If you don't have data, well, it sucks to be you. Once you actually spool it up, you know, the beam goes vroom, 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 vroom. And then you travel through an alternate dimension to your destination. Now, that's the answer as of Homeworld 1 and Cataclysm. Homeworld 2 decided to retcon that for reasons I'm not really sure of. So I'm going to be completely honest, I don't actually know Homeworld 2's system all that well. There's something about the Great Hyperspace Cores and how they're required to do certain types of jumps. We actually talk about this during the Homeworld streams we've done, if you really want more info on it, because I actually researched it there. And yeah, there is a transition time. One of the things I do remember was there was this whole thing about the Great Hyperspace Cores, which, just to be clear, I don't like that retcon, where Great Hyperspace Cores allowed you to do longer jumps. The reason this is relevant... The reason this is relevant is because it means that... So, most hyperspace jumps have to be a certain distance from each other. Like there's a maximum distance you can go with a single hyperspace jump before your your drive either runs out or can't maintain it, or whatever it is that limits it, right? So you could just draw on the map. This sphere is your maximum radius. As a result, a lot of the factions back in the day were able to build defenses around the concept of that hyperspace limit. They would only have to defend X, Y, and Z, and therefore there would be front lines. Problem is, there's actually a lot of ways around that which we're not even talking about, and clearly the writers didn't even think about, but let's not even get into that. The reason they did all this was so that there would be a benefit to having a hyperspace core, which allows you to do a substantially longer jump. Thus, you could bypass enemy lines and just jump right to the enemy. Again, the problem with that is that it doesn't really make sense, and the more you think about it, the less sense it makes. I've only done that once myself, Shadow Machine. Well, that hurts. Yep, this is my life now. This is Sith Inquisitor in a nutshell. Being lightninged and lightning others. That's just kind of my life. Trust me, this is not the last time we're going to get bathed in lightning. Yeah, it's literally a running trend of the Inquisitor story arc. So here's my least favorite companion for Inquisitor. All the world conspires to mock me. Tulak Hort, I waited for you. I did everything you said, and this is what you send me? It is cruel to me, little one, but not as cruel as it is to you. You have made a terrible mistake.
You don't sound exactly sane.
No, little one, I am perfectly sane. The world mocks me and I laugh with it. I am Kemval, servant of Tulak Hord, who was called Lord of Hate, Master of Gathering Darkness, and Dark Lord of the Sith. Together Tulak Hord and I devoured our enemies at the battles of Yin and Chabosh, and brought the entire Dromund system to its knees, and now I await his return.
I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Tulak Hord is dead.
places amins why I swore.
Why didn't you come for me? I would have died with you. I would have slain death itself. As for you, you should not have come here. For I hunger, and I will devour you. So I should probably mention that Kemval literally eats people. Like, a lot of people talk about eating people, but he actually, you know, teeth grinding, flesh, eat. You know, not like Vitier, who likes to drain life out of people. I remember when this fight really sucked. I remember when the next fight really sucked, too. Defeated. Defeated! Why did you not come for me so long? Why have you allowed your servant to be reduced to this? My great weakness, you've defeated me, so I must serve you. This is the law that binds me, but you are not my master.
Obey or perish.
As you say, little one, but someday I will regain my strength. Come along, worthless. You know what's doubly irritating to me about Kemval? He was one of the best tanks back in vanilla. You know, back when that actually mattered. Walker says, does it mean that I'm old when none of the games announced by Nintendo or Sony excite me? Eh, not necessarily. Just means your preferences aren't currently being met. I still need to... Oh no, I did watch the Nintendo Direct. There were a couple of games that caught my attention. Not many, but a couple. I'm actually excited about Pikmin 4, despite everything. But then again, I actually really liked Pikmin 3, excuse me. And Miyamoto tends to treat that as his baby, so he probably put a lot of real work into it. Which one was 2V? Oh, never mind, I know who 2V is. Raise eyebrow, that's who 2V is. Sorry, getting caught up in the question queue. Return. Let's do this, I suppose. Top 3 favorite color combinations: blue and violet, black and white, white and black. I'll also put black and gold on there. You know, the outfit we were wearing on our consular. It's okay. That super weapons are all ours. Least favorite color combinations: green and orange, yellow and brown, and puke and other puke.
I found him. That poor acolyte.
He got torn up pretty badly in there.
He was so brave and ready to prove himself to his father. His father was Naaman Fall. As I said before, he's one of the Dark Honor Guards in the Academy. If you take the acolyte's remains to his father, I'm sure he'll be grateful.
I suppose it's always good to make powerful friends.
You can find the acolyte's father outside the chamber of the Dark Council. That's where he stands guard.
Would Padme have been killed by Palpatine if she had sided with Vader, assuming Vader killed Obi-Wan? I mean, he would have tried, and probably succeeded, because he's freaking Palpatine. I'm not sure what Vader would have taken of that. That's honestly a bit of a sea change question. But on the face of it, I think Palpatine definitely would have been like... And by that I mean, oh yes, join me, my young apprentice. Oh no, your wife, she died mysteriously under strange circumstances through some extremely esoteric poison that can only be traced to this one source, because that's how assassins always do things. Did you notice that? But no, he would have... she would be dead. Probably assassinated in the night by one of his many, many, many minions. Elevators.
You don't belong here. You stand before the chamber of the Dark Council, and this floor is off-limits to all who are not lords of the Sith. If you are not on official business, you will leave now.
Go.
I've come with news about your son.
So that is the smell you carry. It is said he went into the tomb of Naga Sadao to prove himself, and was killed. He was such a weak boy. He shames me in death as he shamed me in life. When I heard of his death, I could not leave my post. Honor forbade it. Still, I would like to know what happened in there.
Of course. Ask away, my lord.
Your deference does you credit. Now tell me, where did you find his body? Did my pathetic son even make it past the first steps? In the end, was he Sith?
No.
He died right at the entrance of the tomb. Pathetic indeed.
Of course he did. Every moment of his life existed only to mock me. I will keep his bones to remind me of my shame and to focus my anger. But you have done me a service, and such deeds should be repaid. You have brought me pain and torment. I will return the favor. My son sought a relic I placed in the base of a cracked statue, deep in the tomb. This crystal will release it. Now go.
God, yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably faster. Oh, it's definitely faster. So anyways, I love backtracking. What would my life be without backtracking? That's why that's the pain and torment we got. That's as soon as he said that, I was like, oh god, we're gonna have to go back into the tomb. So Evo asks, how would he feel about the response and having to not reveal it to his team? It's a Tuesday, I think is gonna be my answer to that. So don't mistake me. Obviously he cares. If he didn't care, well, then he wouldn't be in the service. But there's a line between letting it affect you and not letting it affect you. A professional detachment, if you will. It's the medical thing I tend to mention a few times. So I don't think he would be super bothered by it. Especially since his overall attitude would very much be, well, let's do the best we can then. Hi. Do you like lightning? We here at the Lorewalkers like lightning. You're going to be seeing a lot of lightning over the next week or so. Just so you know. Okay, back we go. Very unlikely it would change his dialogue or tone even. Yeah, then we'll have some choking. It'll be great. Actually, no, then we'll have punching. Then we'll have choking. Then we'll have... Anyways, do I think a totally dark side's Inquisitor is more evil than Sidious? No. I think a totally dark side's Inquisitor is more insane than Sidious. Less sane, less together than Sidious. Is there a fire technique? Not that I'm aware of. If you want to play fire mage, you have to play bounty hunter. Do you like fire? Do you like unlimited fire?
What do you want? I'm training slaves to feed the beasts, and I don't have time to chat.
I'm here for a special meal. You know the kind.
You've been talking to Seirun, haven't you? That creature was close to me when I was an acolyte. It helped me survive my trials. It traveled places I couldn't, told me everything it heard and saw. It had been living off vermin before I came along. I figured out a way to make it healthier, stronger. Seirun's special meals.
By all means, continue.
Seirun never knew exactly what I fed it. Its meals weren't just beast fodder. Seirun ate the corpses of the Academy's failures, the bones and blood of dead acolytes. Feeding on their energy after death, it grew exponentially more powerful with every meal, and became strong in the dark side.
That has fiasco written all over it.
Pity I didn't have your insight at the time. When I saw how twisted Seirun was becoming, I sent it away. It was becoming hungrier all the time, and I feared it would attack the living. Destroying it seemed impossible. It could heal any injury it suffered. I hoped it would find a new home somewhere, but it seems we must act more decisively.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
No, that is... Seirun may not be strong enough to kill acolytes on its own, but it can't be slain. Its regenerative abilities draw on the power of the Force. Together, we must poison Seirun. Before I sent Seirun away, I developed a powerful toxin, but I didn't have the heart to use it. It won't kill the creature, but it should strip it of its power.
So let's say we poison it. What happens to Seirun then?
My best guess? If we do this, Seirun won't survive much longer. It will hide as best it can and slowly starve. But the alternative is to let it become a living horror.
Then let's poison that thing.
I'm glad you see it as I do. I'm giving you this meat. Don't ask me where it came from, but it should fool Seirun. Once the poison is in its system, it will weaken. I take no satisfaction in this, but it is necessary.
I take complete satisfaction with this. This thing needs to go away, so... Thankfully it's not that far into the tomb, but gosh darn it. You can tell I don't remember how to do the non-class quests all that efficiently, because I'm doing this in the worst possible way that exists. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a living puppy, you could put it. Feeding him a living puppy. Do I think the Sith Empire is another unfortunate example of BioWare magic, since I believe the Republic has almost twice as much recorded dialogue as the original intended storyline. If I'm being completely honest, I think most good BioWare things are a concept or a example of BioWare magic and all that that means. Nah, I already got one big stupid beast running around with me. I don't want a second one. BioWare magic is a term they came up with to describe the fact that they suck at game development. Return, and you have meat. Sarun smells it.
Prythor gave me what I needed. Now take your food, you monster.
Excellent. Excellent. But there's something odd. It has not tasted flesh in too long, perhaps? Or... this does not make me strong, it makes me strange. What do you feed it?
I did what was necessary.
Before betrays it. You betray it. All Sith hate Sarun. Go away now. And leave it alone. No.
Find some self-respect, worm.
Can't we kill him? Alright, whatever. Probably faster at this point. So the crow asks about BioWare magic. And rather than read the whole question out again, I'm just going to say, I'm pretty sure that every good thing BioWare has ever made is a result of BioWare magic. So the short answer to your question is yes. Would I eat a bantha burger just to spite the Sand People? Yes. Also, would you have any interest in eating a bantha burger as a food lover? Yes. Would I like a bantha burger? I have no idea. Do I kill banthas en masse just for the chance that I might enjoy their meat? Yes. Death to the living.
I'm telling you, Overseer, it cannot be done. I went into the tomb, I saw the Deshard across the chasm, but I could not get to it.
But the map! The map! Lord Zash is adamant she will not take an apprentice without the map!
I'm telling you, Lord Zash wants the impossible. No one is ever going to get that map!
Sorry I'm late, but I have the map.
The map? And... the Deshard? Get that monster out of here this instant! And give me the map!
No, it's not possible. You wretch, you filth! You must have cheated somehow. How did you do it? How did you release the monster?
I am not a monster. I am Kimball. servant of Tulakor, devourer of the rebels at Enon Chwash, consumer of the Dromund system, and I am hungry.
Right. You must have cheated. You must have. You'll pay for this!
Fawn, patience. You will have your chance at this whelp after you personally deliver this map to Lord Zash.
I worked hard for that map, and I'll kill both of you if I have to.
Protest all you want, slave. You'll die the same. Hurry, Fawn.
Don't go anywhere, Fawn.
Lord Zash.
Yes, Fawn. Now, where's my map?
Here, Lord Zash. Right here.
You found it for me, Fawn? How wonderful.
He couldn't have found it if he tried.
Silence! Fawn will tell me what happened, won't you, Fawn? You wouldn't dare lie to me, would you? Because it would be a shame for me to discover that you lied to me. Now, one more time. Did you bring this map back from Nagasadow's tomb?
No. No, I didn't. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hearken, you fool. In any other group for any other lord, this young man would have torn the other acolytes to shreds. What were you trying to prove? That you could outsmart me? That you knew better than me what kind of person I wanted for an apprentice? You fool! There's your pet, Harkin. Clean this mess up. Apprentice, meet me in my chambers upstairs.
As you say.
This is not the end. Without Lord Zash to save you, you're nothing. I have connections that will hunt you wherever you go.
I'm sorry it turned out this way, Harkin. I know you never liked me much, but I learned a lot from you.
What? Well, I guess it is an overseer's job to inspire his charges. Now get going, slave. I mean, apprentice.
2 things I love about... Actually, 50 things I love about that, but I've just got to comment on 2 immediately. First of all, the reason I always pick that light side choice is it just smashes him right across the knees. He was completely not ready for that. He was just saying, oh. Huh. The second thing I like about it is that it's not really stated outright, but we actually outrank him now. Overseers, Tyron actually mentioned this earlier in chat, Overseers are pretty low on the totem pole. Don't worry, we'll be seeing more of him later. Oh, and that scene gets a positive. It's also a good showcasing of Zash, who up until now has been portrayed as reasonable, intelligent, calm, polite, and patient. So it's important to establish that she does have teeth, which they do. Actually, I kind of lean the same way, Django, even though you're probably joking about that. It probably, like I said, it hits him across the knees, where he's like... Oh. Huh.
Ah, my magnificent new apprentice. Congratulations are in order, I believe.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
You've earned it, my apprentice. Now, I was just looking over this astonishing map you brought back, and I can tell we have a lot of work ahead of us.
What is this map of, exactly?
We can't talk about it here. Too many unfriendly ears. You must meet me on Dromund Kaas. There we can talk more.
Why must we go there?
That is where the map leads, though I likely would have taken you there anyway. The capital of the Sith Empire is a good place for an apprentice to start. I will meet you in my chambers in the Citadel in Kaas City. There we can speak more freely of the work ahead, without the fear of unfriendly ears. This is the lightsaber I had as an apprentice. I want you to have it.
Shock. It's red.
I shall wreak havoc with it wherever I go.
Magnificent. No doubt you will. Now remember, my chambers, the Citadel, Dromund Kaas. It's imperative that we get to work on this as soon as possible.
Oh, by the way, if the game let me, I would totally romance Ash. I'm just saying.
Stop right there, alien scum. Darth Scotia has a message for you.
Oh, we're already introducing our next main antagonist. You notice we just defeated our previous one, Harkin. Well, now we're immediately going into the next one, Scotia.
Who is this Darth Scotia?
Darth Scotia is Lord Zash's superior, and your worst nightmare. The message is this: you will not go to Dromund Kaas. Everything you've done here, everyone you've dealt with, Lord Zash included, is insignificant. Darth Scotia has eyes and ears on Korriban. He knows what your master is up to, and he is displeased, to say the least. On Korriban, Lord Zash may have her way, but on Dromund Kaas, it's a different story. So you see, you have to die.
Cam, what is it you do to Force users again?
I consume them and then spit out their bones.
Tosin, is that a Deshard? Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Coward! Fight, you fool!
Okay. You like lightning? I love lightning. Let's go with that one. So yeah, who's ready for Black Talon? I'm actually kind of curious how that's going to go. Especially considering Acellus was not as good as I was thinking it would be. No, nobody likes FF Lightning. Questions. Given the state of mind Rev was in during the Foundry quest, assuming his plan has succeeded, do you see him eventually attacking the Jedi Republic to purge it of corruption? Absolutely yes. Revan was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and that's very clearly being showcased in that whole arc. I should probably sell. I got a lot of junk.
Won't find a better bargain.
Don't care. Okay.
Come back anytime.
And yeah, Scotia is ironically a good... You'll notice how they're doing a good escalation of our villains, too. Scotia's actually still relatively low tier, even though he's a Darth. I know. There's... Sith organizational structure is stupid. There's apprentices, lords, and Darths. And that's kind of the tiering. Those three ranks. But there's a whole lot of gradients and nuance between... in between those specific rankings. Not all Darths are equal, to put it simply. And not all Lords are equal. Oh yeah, sorry. So they've got Darths, Lords, Apprentices, then Overseers. But yeah, Scotia is just kind of... Yeah, Darth Lacris and Darth Mar are not equal is a perfect way to put that. And Zash definitely has more connections than Scotia, but we'll talk about that later. Acolytes. Let's see. Given how powerful the Force users are, why does Inquisitor need a machine to shake a building to show off how strong they were? I suppose the easy answer is they weren't strong enough yet. Also, part of being an Inquisitor... First of all, spoilers, but second of all, part of being an Inquisitor is all about outthinking and outmaneuvering your opponents rather than just besting them with raw strength. So I'm actually 100% in favor of that because the whole point is that you are outthinking, not out arm wrestling your opponent. Let's see. Your favorite Tarantino films? None. I don't like any of them. What do you do when you feel like you're stuck in a rut of what games to play? Ooh. So I don't know. Has anybody in chat ever had that problem? Probably thinking, but Lord, don't you have the problem? No. The problem I tend to have is time. I have 7 billion games to play, all of which interest me. But then again, I like virtually every type of game out there, so that's part of that. So I don't have that rut problem. I have the other rut problem of, well, I've got 30 minutes to play a video game. I could play EU4 and do like half of a single war. I could play part of an RTS map. I can construct one thing in Factorio. I could do one dungeon. You get my point, right? Like, I just don't have time to do it, actually get invested in anything. So, maybe try... So if you still want to do interactive media, maybe try drifting into board games or card games. Especially if you have someone to work with in real life, too. I personally am a huge fan of tabletop in general. So, you know, P&P, tabletop, board, you know, card, all that stuff. That's a really cool outfit. I like this outfit. This is the best outfit ever. You know, that kind of a thing, right? And that's just a suggestion. If you want to try drifting into non-interactive medium, obviously there's a lot of shows live right now. We are probably the most glutted for television than we've been in a long time, or possibly ever, depending on how you think of it. Obviously, there's been periods in time where there's more television live at once, but it's more accessible right now than it's ever been. So, you know, your reach is gargantuan when it comes to watching non-interactive entertainment. Tyrant disconnected. Very important. What was the super weapon count before getting to the Empire? 22. I wasn't counting the Children of the Emperor. We could have. Scroll up a little bit here. Don Chris says, what movie do you like but everyone else hates for reasons you don't understand? I don't think I can think of any. There are movies that I like that other people don't, but I understand exactly why they don't like them. After all, I like the movie, I can't even think, I like Episode 9, but it's extremely understandable why people don't. Excuse me, go put away my mug. I'll be right back. I actually spent like 5 minutes answering your question, too, Walker. Okay, let's do this. Except we don't have Tyrant. Do we lose Tyrant? We completely lost her. Does anybody want to join us? You've got 10 seconds to speak up. It's all good, Walker, but I'm not going to repeat 5 minutes of discussion. Fine, I'll repeat 5 minutes. So, it's, hurry up, Caspian! Nah, that's fine. Let's just go. Let's just go. We've already waited too long. It's you. Greetings. Are you on the way to the capital? There's a shuttle. It's cool. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go.
Glad to hear it.
The Black Talon goes through dangerous territory. Please. Let's go. Time for one of the last dungeons we'll be covering for quite a while, actually. If you run right down the timestamp, it would probably be somewhere around the 2-hour, 20-minute mark. That's fine, Jay Palmer.
We'll tell the captain that I'll be back on the bridge as soon as I've done his errand.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you aboard. I'm Lieutenant Silas, second in command of the Black Talon. We're your ride to Dromund Kaas.
A pleasure to meet you.
Indeed. Welcome. It's not a comfortable ship, but as transports go, it does its job. On our present course, we should arrive at the capital within a day. Won't be any trouble. In the meantime, your droid's in the conference room. We picked it up with the upgrades from Geonosis. When we docked here, it mentioned your names.
Sorry, I don't know what droid you're talking about.
Oh? The machine asked for you, so I assumed you were the owner. My mistake. In any case, it seems someone wants to get in touch. The conference room is down the hall. I'll be on the bridge. And you, soldier, when you're done playing honor guard, get back to your post. This isn't a luxury yacht.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is a review of Tor. Not counting the latest stuff for obvious reasons. Several billion, probably, cubic.
Identity confirmed. Good day. I'm Advanced Protocol Unit NR02. My functions are diplomacy, translation, manslaughter, and calumniation.
Wait, what was that third one?
Urgent message for you from my master. Please stand by for delivery.
I'm paying attention.
This is Unit NR02 to Grand Moff Kilran. You are now in contact with the Black Talon.
Well, so I am. And it seems you've brought me just the people I've been looking for. My name is Rikus Kilran. I'm commander of the 5th Fleet, second to the Minister of War, and my personal favorite, the so-called Butcher of Coruscant.
Something wrong with the hologram? Or is your face supposed to look like that?
The scars, they're an old gift from a Jedi friend. I barely notice them anymore. 6 hours ago, the Republic engaged in an illegal border skirmish on the edges of Imperial territory. One enemy warship escaped. That warship, the Brental Star, is carrying a passenger of vital strategic importance. Yours is the only vessel placed to intercept.
This passenger, the Brental Star is carrying. Who is it?
The warship's passenger is codenamed the General. We don't know his identity, but the Republic believes he possesses military secrets, our military secrets. I trust the reports. The General must be captured or killed. Captain Orzik, the man commanding your transport, doesn't share my enthusiasm. He's disobeyed my orders to attack. Feel free to show him what the Empire does to cowards. Then commandeer his ship, find the Brental Star, and deal with the General.
Sounds interesting, but you realize I don't work for free.
I certainly understand, as will the Imperial Treasury. We need individuals like you if we're to survive the next Great War.
I will lead the way to the bridge. Once Captain Orzik is deposed and our hijacking is complete, we may proceed to the Brental Star. Excellent. Then I will proceed.
Halt! This is a restricted area. Captain Orzik's command. You'll have to leave immediately.
I suggest you back off, before someone gets hurt.
I'm afraid I can't do that. This is the command deck entry hatch. No one's allowed in until we reach our destination.
Time is limited. We must proceed to the bridge immediately.
Our orders were to treat any approach as an attack. You need to take your droid and move it.
I don't scare that easily.
You had your chance. We warned you. Blasters out! Attack! Attack!
So yes, the Black Talon starts with us attacking our own people. That's cool. Hugo, what are you, by the way? What class? What the heck is McDooney's? We are currently playing Sith Inquisitor, Retro Mantra. So, somebody... There it is. Anarcho-Maxist asked if I've seen the Zelda trailer, and then asked me to do a live reaction to it. Unfortunately, since I have seen the trailer, I can't really do a live reaction to it. Very vertical. Thank you, Paul Lucas.
I assure you, the deaths of all injured crew members will be strategically insignificant.
Yes, that's the Black Talon in a nutshell, right there. Do an analysis? There's very little to analyze, unfortunately. It's a teaser. If there's anything with actual meat on it, I might be tempted, if not for the fact that I have absolutely no time to do such a thing. I didn't see the God of War 5 trailer. I actually haven't gotten a chance to see the state of play at all, so I haven't seen any of that. Yeah, it's weird, Mr. Red, isn't it? Let's see. Thoughts other than the verticality thing. It'll be curious to see if someone funds it before it comes out. I do not expect that to happen at the current rate. Oh yeah, easy. Whatever.
All Marines have been neutralized. Scanning for additional threats.
What's going on? Sir, stay calm, Ensign. Everyone stay calm.
No threats found. The bridge is now secure.
God, I hope there's no time travel. I really do.
Call the medbay. I want help for the injured. Now.
Acknowledged. Medical assistance will be properly rendered.
I do appreciate that. I'm Captain Revenant Orzik. I'm pretty sure I know what this is about. For the record, I take complete responsibility for my actions.
Captain Orzik, I'm told you disobeyed a direct order from Grand Moff Kilran.
Yes, I had no idea he'd respond this brutally. He must want them Brental.
Yeah, why is the camera wobbling? I've been noticing
Maybe
that.
He just hates me. The Black Talon would be destroyed chasing a battleship. I've fought in the war before and I'll fight again, but I don't do suicide missions.
Suicide was deciding you could ignore your superiors.
Vigilant continues to be evil, as is his wont.
The captain's dead! The captain's dead!
Shut up! Bounty Hunter, you have our attention. What would you have us do?
God, is that a toggle, Cashel? Can we turn that off? Because that is terrible. That's negative-worthy.
I'm sorry it came to this. The rest of you don't have to suffer the same fate.
But what about the...
You have your instructions.
In accordance with Article 27A of the Imperial Code of Military Conduct, command of this vessel has been lawfully transferred. New orders are being downloaded to your consoles. Priority 1, intercept the Brental Star.
Pucara, do as the droid says and prepare to jump to light speed.
Thank God it's just this dungeon, but that is already nauseating, so this dungeon gets a negative. Yay! Exactly what I want in my life is more negatives.
Emerging from hyperspace now. One Thranta-class warship on the scanners. Powering up...
Enemy is firing. Turbo lasers, missiles, and what looks like transport pods. I'm not sure.
The pods are a distraction. Return fire. Aim for their power generators. So long as they're damaged and we're not, we have the advantage.
Lieutenant, Captain Silas, sir. Engineering is reporting blaster fire. They just cut out.
I wasn't expecting much from the Imperial military, but you are a sad bunch.
Damn it. It must be some sort of boarding action. If they're in engineering, they could destroy this ship. With due respect, I recommend you lend a hand down there.
It's a done deal.
I'll notify security.
And don't worry. We won't let those Republic scum get away.
Secondary power systems damaged. Non-essential systems may be inoperable.
Enjoy female bounty hunter while you got it, because our bounty hunter's male. Listen, I had a choice between Random Lady and Steve Blum. There's no choice here, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, fine. It was a choice between Random Lady and good voice actor. What do you want from me? God damn it.
Additional security forces are needed in the cargo area to enforce containment measures. Please respond.
Anyone read me? This is engineering. We have an emergency. Please respond. The droids locked us out of the control room. They're sabotaging the engine.
I'm actually kind of looking up what she's voiced other than this, obviously. I'm sure I've heard her at some point.
Ah!
There's been a lot of stuff I haven't seen. She was the voice of Ventress. I at least recognize that. I need to...
More droids. They're cutting through.
This is Lieutenant Silas. If you can hear this, please return to the bridge. We need you.
She's also one of the most common Amidala voice actresses, apparently, in all the video games. Yeah, I barely know what she's in. Jeez Louise. She's in a ton of stuff. I just haven't seen all of it. Or most of it. Sorry, yeah, I'm... Either way, she's actually a perfectly fine voice actress. I was just snarking. We are still going with male, though. Mostly because we've already made the character. And I can't remake a character, okay? It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. Also, we probably need to play at least one male character at some point. And all joking aside, I do think he pretty much nails the voice acting for Bounty Hunter. A lot of the snarks and a lot of the witty lines really work because it's him doing them. It's an odd graphics bug, but okay.
Damage reports from all decks. We're holding together, sir, but I don't know for how long.
Make sure it's long enough, Ensign. Your life and career are at stake.
Please stand alert. Grand Moff Kilran's representatives have returned.
Congratulations, my lord. Security reports that the sabotage droids have been destroyed.
Fill me in on the situation.
We've penetrated the Brental Star's outer defenses. Their next assault won't come until we enter fighter range. Another minute, maybe two.
Transmission coming in. Long range. It's a message, but it's not from the Brental Star.
How's that possible?
The Brental Star must have sent a distress signal. Someone's responding.
This is Jedi Grand Master Satil Shan hailing unidentified Imperial vessel. I'm en route to your location with 16 Republic vessels. I'm asking you to retreat before more lives are lost.
The Empire doesn't turn and run so easily. Your ship brought this upon itself.
You can make those claims if you wish, but we both know they're lies. The Brental Star is under my protection. Our convoy was ambushed and I sent the Star ahead. We will reunite. I just crippled 3 Imperial dreadnoughts. I don't wish to destroy you. The peace between Republic and Empire is fragile enough already.
Tell the Brental Star to hand over the General. No one needs to be hurt.
The General has a role to play with the Republic. Incidents like this are happening across the galaxy, but only because we let them. Leave the Brental Star to me. If you don't, then may the Force be with you. Because the men and women aboard that ship can hold you off until we arrive, and you will be defeated.
We'll see about that. End transmission.
Affirmative. Ending transmission.
Entering fighter range. The Brental Star is launching its first squadron.
All right. Now we're close enough to fly in and send a raiding party. I assume you're going.
Whatever's necessary to finish this.
We'll be awaiting your successful return.
I advise that you proceed to the shuttle bay. The flight to the Brental Star may be hazardous, but Grand Moff Kilran has complete faith in your abilities.
So, yes, we will be doing long cutscenes. A Legend of Zelda theater. I say we will be doing. It will be going live. We've been doing for the last year the Zelda theater. So that'll be going live Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There'll be a pre-stream for it at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would say the Calamity... okay, the timeline of Zelda is, let's say this as nice as we can, stupid. The Calamity in question, the events that happen kind of in Hyrule Warriors 2, are about 10 millennia after the events of Twilight Princess. I don't agree with that, but that's canon, so that's my job to report on it. And I think that's the only questions out of the question queue, which I'm falling behind. I'm getting really behind on the question queue. So, let's see here. When Palpatine told Anakin to leave Obi-Wan on the Invisible Hand, was because he thought Obi-Wan was one of the biggest obstacles. So, Obi-Wan was always a threat on for any reason whatsoever. Simply the fact that he is a Jedi who he can't corrupt makes Obi-Wan a threat. So the simplest and easiest answer to that question is he saw that he could get rid of a threat and so moved to do so. He didn't succeed, so it's not a big deal. All of them, Cubic, just all the apocalypses. Like, that was just a pretty typical move. One of Palpatine's greatest traits was always his adaptability, and seeing the circumstance, why wouldn't he go for that, right? Gungam says, would you say hard light as a concept is pseudoscience? Yes. What do I like more, the Blade movies, the Chronicles of Riddick movies, or the Hellboy movies? Man, I don't like any of those. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. Did Zash know from the beginning the Inquisitor was the one to get the map he was testing from? We'll actually discuss that later, so I'm not going to answer that right. Would you like a leader character that is liked by his men but feels like he's a fraud or imposter? So, high charisma, low int? No, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a typical politician. Someone who could lie effectively. Excuse me, a good typical politician. Somebody who can lie effectively but has no idea what they're doing and is making everything worse. No, thank you. Trust me, the Zelda rewrite will certainly be a worthwhile endeavor at some point, Jaluda. I hope.
This is Protocol Unit NRO2. I hope you're receiving this message clearly, and that your flight was free of incident. Please hold for Security Coordinator Ensign Brukhara.
The Marines are on their way. They'll follow you in and hold each junction you secure. Try not to take too long. We're not a military ship. What you have is all you're getting.
I appreciate the warning.
I have been scanning the Brental Star's communications, and security forces appear to be moving to protect the escape pods. It is extremely likely that the crew is attempting to evacuate the General. You must retrieve or eliminate him before he escapes.
We'll have the General before the crew knows what's happening.
Excellent news. I will be in contact if the situation changes. Proceed to assault all defense points between you and the target.
Yeah, I could see that, Lothario. Definitely not someone I want to be in charge of me. Did I see the Sonic Frontiers trailer? No. Which single-player RPG has the best dungeons in your opinion?
All security forces, prepare to fire! You're speaking to a Special Forces commander, Meat. Show some respect.
Good thing, Meat.
So, you think you're tough meat? Ah! Part of me was hoping you'd try to board this ship.
Final Fantasy V.
For the Brental Star!
Final Fantasy V has consistently interesting, engaging, and well-designed dungeons with usually only a few small, minor flaws. Bonus points go towards Divinity Original Sin 2. And a couple other things. Explain the greatness of Chrono Trigger? If you don't like it, it's not for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. The benefits of Chrono Trigger are tight design, though. Chrono Trigger is a very, very well-designed game. It doesn't have padding, it doesn't have grinding, it doesn't have bad backtracking, with one exception. It doesn't have all of those pitfalls that most RPGs have, even to this very day. It is a very tightly crafted, well-honed experience, and that's one of the biggest reasons why it tends to endure the way that it has. That's it. Sorry, looking at my buttons, which I haven't had a chance to do for a while here. The story? I love the story of Chrono Trigger, but that's partially because it's, again, it has the exact same benefit I just told you about. It is very tightly designed. The story of Chrono Trigger is the story of individuals who are caught up in macroscopic events. Tiny little ants who aren't big, great, powerful, super mega whatchapigs. They just happen to be caught up in the sequence of events that are of planetary consequence. It's also the single best environmental villain I've ever seen in fiction, across everything. There's a reason I consistently refer to environmental villains as Lavoses. Yeah, actually, Casablanca is a great example. Good analogy, good analogy. And everything in Chrono Trigger... So I mentioned tight design. Tight design is all about trimming the fat, making sure that there's nothing excess, like I mentioned with the padding earlier. The same thing is on the story end of things, though, because Chrono Trigger's design, in terms of narrative, is all about Lavos. Everything is always... I think of it like a pillar, right? The pillar of the story. Not every story even has a pillar, but Lavos is the pillar of Chrono Trigger's story, and literally everything else rotates and revolves around it as you're going through the story. You never stray from this central pillar throughout the entire game. And that's a strength, because it means you always know not just what you're doing, but why you're doing it. A lot of other RPGs tend to drift a little bit, have side questy sections like Lufia 2 does, or portions where you're just kind of doing a little thing just because, like Final Fantasy VII or whatever.
Escape pods aren't far now. You can make it on your own, General.
And what about you?
Frickin' agents, I swear. Exactly, Black Talon.
I will face my destiny. Go now, my friend.
You don't have to give it another shot.
I am Yadira Ban, Padawan of the Jedi Order. I was sent to protect the General, and you will not pass.
Not everything is for everyone, as I am often fond of saying. The best cup of coffee in the world is not something I'm going to enjoy, even though it's a good cup of coffee.
Your master sent you. Really? My first teacher tried to kill me too.
Then it's true. You Sith are a mockery of everything the Jedi believe in. But I intend to drive you back, meter by meter if need be. Just as the Republic pushed the Sith
Hang on,
Empire
since we're
into
building
the
up to a
trunk of
boss
the
fight here.
galaxy.
Let me get, Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it in time. Ah, whatever.
Makes no difference to me. You're keeping me from my target.
I hope one day you'll see beyond your selfish desires. But I cannot be the one to teach you.
Alright, time to fight the most powerful Jedi ever.
You may run, or you may stand your ground, but you'll go no farther. You aren't going to win this. I swear it.
The final thing I'll say about Chrono Trigger, and it ties into what I've already mentioned. Chrono Trigger is actually a very simple game, but it's a good example of why simple isn't necessarily bad. I will also say that one of the problems that a lot of JRPGs in particular have made, a mistake they've made in the years since, in the last 20 years, has been they've tried to overcomplicate their story or their gameplay. How many times have you seen a JRPG where it just leans off into Nana land, into total nonsense? Or how many JRPGs have you seen where you have 5 different gameplay mechanics which all bounce and coincide with each other in weird and esoteric ways that aren't immediately obvious? By contrast, Chrono Trigger is central plot and story. Everything revolves around it. You level, you have techs, that's it.
You can put aside your weapons. I won't try to run. Besides, I doubt I'd make it to an escape pod without my intestines spilling out.
I take it you're the General. Grand Moff Kilran sent me to find you.
Kilran did? Of course. He would have the gall to send a transport to take on a warship and succeed.
Hey, don't give him credit
for
this.
As a general in the Imperial Military Service, did they tell you that when they sent you here? Did they even know?
Believe whatever you want. It doesn't change your fate.
If you knew what I knew, you'd understand. If you'd heard what both sides are plotting, you wouldn't be eager to restart this war. They're building doomsday weapons, shields that envelop planets, missiles that darken suns.
Yep.
Republic and Empire are planning to raise worlds, annihilate civilizations.
Yep.
It will be unlike anything the galaxy's seen since the Great Hyperspace War. And it's too late to stop it. The so-called peace is already lost.
If that's true, why defect to the Republic?
There's no place for me in the Empire anymore. I thought my last act might be to even the odds, create a stalemate. It doesn't seem to matter anymore. You have me then. Me, my stomach full of blood, and my implant full of cybernetic secrets and stolen plans. What will you do?
I'm going to bring you to my ship. From there, you'll be
wow. You two are evil. Holy crap.
taken into Imperial custody.
Where I'll be tortured or executed, or at best, placed in a cell for the rest of my life. Still, there's nowhere in the galaxy where I could truly hide. I will follow you.
By the way, that's a good example of a light side choice being definitively evil. Like, that's just really evil. There will be other examples later. By memory, there's one on Terrace, for example. I mean, there's actually going to be several examples of that.
This is Protocol Unit NRO2. If you are receiving this message, I urge you to return to the Black Talon as quickly as possible.
Is there anything wrong?
There has been an incident aboard the bridge. Your tactics have inspired...
Idiots! You'll get us all damn well killed!
A little too early to say, Baron. And you'll notice I barely even have buttons on my bar yet. In fact, I only really have 5 at the moment. Imperial Alderaan. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, ask me again when I'm a little bit more developed as a character. Right now, I don't even have my first actual talent point. Correct, Winlock. You're right, Nemi. I'm sorry. I should let people be tortured forever rather than mercy killing them. I am pure evil. Mercy death. I'm pure for wanting to have mercy. That's really what that boils down to. So, because Vigilant killed the captain earlier, this happens.
Welcome back. I'm pleased to see that you have returned whole. I do apologize for the condition of the bridge. As I'd intended to explain earlier, there was an incident.
You'd better tell me what happened, or I'm going to be very unhappy.
Several of the crew were extremely agitated by your behavior. Ensign Hedder feared you might execute anyone who failed to contribute to the mission. A group of officers attempted to flee the ship before you returned. Lieutenant Silas objected, and a firefight broke out. There was a large number of casualties, but don't worry, I am fully capable of piloting the ship back to Dromund Kaas.
You're telling me they panicked and killed one another?
That is correct. It was unexpected. Grand Moff Kilrin is eagerly awaiting your report. Should I put him through?
Please, go ahead.
Opening channel now.
Well, how fortunate I could reach my friends aboard the Black Talon. The droid's been keeping me appraised of your work, but I've very much wanted to hear from you. How did the attack go?
The Brental Star has been disabled and the General captured. He'll be in your hands soon.
Excellent. I'll let Korriban and Imperial Intelligence fight over him. You should be proud. This is only one of the many operations we're conducting across the galaxy. It's a new beginning to the war. The General was one of the greatest weapons the Republic had. A defector. And you've snatched him from enemy hands. I'll remember this, and I'll make sure you're rewarded.
Next time, don't look to me.
We'll see about that if the day comes, won't we? But my words hardly matter. Soon you'll be joining us on the homeworld, and you can see for yourself what you've been fighting for. It should be inspiring. Enjoy the rest of your journey. Kilrin out.
I didn't kill him, Zactaf, so don't look at me. So that's Black Talon, one of the last dungeons we're going to cover for a while. Let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, that sounds about right, Mr. Red. This music is also very appropriate to what's happening right now. I got a customs droid as a frickin' spy droid. One moment, please. Well, that's frustrating. For the second time in probably about a month, UPS has literally refused to deliver a package and has decided to just kind of dump it off somewhere else. In this case, I'm actually going to have to go physically pick it up at the UPS store. So that's cool. That's my hard drive, by the way. The one I need. The $600 hard drive. The soft-skinned one, the toy of Zash, golden-haired lord.
Quiet, bodyguard. Save your hissing for your own kind.
There's Darth Scotia.
As for you, slave, Darth Scotia is passing. Best get out of his way.
As you say.
At least Zash taught your back to bend. Give your master a message for me. My eye is on her, and I know. Tell her that. I know what she's trying to do here on Dromund Kaas. You and your master have gotten this far, but it ends here, slave. I alone have the key. Tell her that. You and your master have no future on Dromund Kaas or in the Sith Order. Tell her that. Now, get out of my way.
I think you're the one who needs to move.
I would not count on it.
Yeah, what? Sorry? That was a lot of information, that's all I'm saying. What am I telling her? I've already forgotten. Random comment. I wish there was light side corruption visible, not just dark side. Yeah, I know. There's no such thing as light side corruption, but from a gameplay perspective and a cosmetic perspective, it would be nice to have something visual to show being the light, other than literally nothing. Actually, several people have suggested glowing eyes of different colors. Maybe like a bit of a halo. Maybe like a little bit of a golden glow. Something like that. Okay, so that's an echo of me! I wish to learn... There we go. Sith Assassin. Oh god, we've become a Sith Assassin! I mean, Guild Wars 2 does it, Evo, so why not? Yeah, none of this is voiced. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 confirmation dialogue there. I've played Crosscode. And hey, just look where we are. Alright, before I start picking up quests, let me... Oh, abso-frickin-lutely, J. Palmer. The light side is extremely corruptive. Sorry, Blade Troll, sorry. Here, let me get the Dromund Kaas playlist going.
Welcome, all of you. I'm Commander Rylan. I have an emergency situation here. Your timing couldn't be better. Something is stirring up the jungle beasts, which makes the route between here and Kaas City hazardous. Several individuals traveling on foot have disappeared. I've even had reports of jungle beasts attacking speeders.
It sounds like you could use a hand.
Oh my god.
Given the circumstances, I believe someone of your abilities is precisely what's needed. I dispatched 2 commando teams into the jungle to clear out the beasts, but they never returned. An emergency holo message came through from one of the team leaders. I'll play it for you.
Repeat. Landing beacons are emitting some kind of energy. Power surges are driving the beasts mad. Can't get close enough to reroute power. Lost my team. Beasts closing in. Need reinforced. Ah!
Sensors confirm unusual energy readings in the jungle. The spaceport's landing beacons appear to be the cause.
Just tell me where to go.
Thank you. A team as skilled as yours is exactly what's needed. The spaceport's landing beacons are scattered throughout the nearby jungle. You'll need to reroute power on all of them. I'll track your progress from here. Return when you're done. Good luck. The jungle predators are fierce.
Those poor people, J. Palmer. How did they even survive? Sorry, I actually can't invite to the guild, but Tyron can. I don't know if Tyron's here. Or if he's pure evil. Lightning! More light. Just all the lightning, really. Just lightning. Back when 3rd edition of D&D was relatively new, a friend of mine sat down and tried to prove that he could do a lightning build that was as damage per turn equivalent to a fireball build. He failed.
A guard post in the jungle. Keeping something out or in?
Out, my lord. When the speeders were pulled off the line, people started braving the deeper jungle, trying to make it to Kaas City on foot. Had a few deaths, some of them VIPs. Captain Tolto sent us to keep people out and poke around a bit, see what's out there.
No, that's definitely moments, Mr. Red.
It's nice to see the Empire protecting its citizens.
Yes. Some assignments are definitely better than others. We managed to take some data readings, even some hollows. Big nasty critters out there, nothing to mess with. Our runner, unfortunately, is down a leg from the experience. If you're headed back towards the spaceport, could you give the observation disc to Captain Tolto?
I can and will. Keep up the good work, men.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if this engine could do that, Loner, but I do like that idea. Maybe make the person literally, like, their skin becomes more and more unnaturally smooth. Almost like they literally look like a statue. Pay attention. Pay attention. I need to go this way. Yeah, like alabaster. That's the perfect word for it. Well, see, the thought is... Okay, this is interpretive, of course, and we're dealing with something that doesn't even exist, but assuming one can fall to the light side, would Yoda have fallen to the light side? In the Episode 3 novelization, Yoda absolutely fell to the light side, but he was also able to turn around from it. Like, he was able to recover from it. That was kind of the point of his character arc in Episode 3. I don't know. Audio effect would be a good thing to do, but I think the reason they didn't do that is because of the fact that there's already an audio effect in this game. Whenever you have something on, like the helmets, all have their own different audio effects. No, I think fall is the appropriate word. I think fall fits. Okay. So you got that, you got that. Yeah, sure, we'll play some Predators. I guess. You're never going to convince me, Jocko. Too many writers have given too much evidence to the contrary. And ignoring all of that, of course, none of that even matters, because what we're talking about is this game, where you absolutely can fall to the light side, because that's how Tor interpreted the Force. See, this is exactly why the Force needs to be defined, because otherwise what you have is a bunch of writers all giving their own definitions, which contradict each other. And that is the core of the problem.
Glad to see you all survived. The landing beacons appear to be functioning normally again, thanks to you. Analysis indicates they were deliberately sabotaged to drive the jungle beasts insane. I am transmitting a full report to Kaas City. You've done the Empire a great service and earned this special recognition. Good day to you all.
Dr. Winter, are you there? I haven't seen you say... Oh, never mind, there you are. You're right there. You just said it. So, hang on.
Captain Tolto, I have the recognizance from your guard post in the jungle.
Appreciated, Agent. This is what I needed. I'll start moving to warn everyone off that path until we can get some full cleanup squads.
By Rocano. There we go. I mean, even Lucas isn't even fully consistent in his definition of the Force, because, of course he isn't. As I talked about the other day, he never designed Star Wars to be a franchise. He designed Star Wars to be a movie. Again, that's not a dig. That's just reality. That's how most franchises get started. But anyways, moving on. Dr. Winter says, I just remember one of my favorite lines in the game. A blind, deaf, comatose lobotomy patient could feel my anger. I know exactly who says that, and he should probably lay off the donuts. But you also asked earlier a very good question, which I wanted to run back through you. So this is yesterday, I think, actually. You asked, in universe, there are many ideologies, creeds, and religions that are stupid. Mandalorian culture, Sith code, Trandoshans, and probably more. Will all of those get a negative for stupidity? That's a very good question. Because, first of all, I haven't given any of those a negative yet for any of those things, but that is a precedence we probably need to go ahead and consider. I don't think something being stupid is a negative, because there's simply... strange. I don't know why I had to interact with that to do that. Because there's simply too many stupid things, well-written stupid things in fiction across all of fiction, right? So I think the real core element there is how they use that stupid thing, right? How they use that stupid ideology. Because if it's... I don't know what else to say, because if it's well-written, it's well-written. Because if it's well-utilized, it's well-utilized. And if it's not, it's not. And I think that's really what the core element of that is for me, for the reviews. Does that answer you? I mean, I absolutely think that Kaizen is an evil character. He's probably our token evil character for the Counselor. But my main problem with him, other than the fact that I dislike him, is the fact that he is very inconsistently written. He is written simultaneously to be a token evil character and our best friend for life, you know, Wookiee wannabe. And those things really don't coincide with each other. Oh no, not Zenith at all. Zenith is very consistently portrayed as the Kira Nerys, if you've seen Deep Space Nine. And if you are going to tell me that Kira Nerys is the token evil party member of Deep Space Nine, then we're probably going to have a discussion.
Finally, someone who can keep their head in a crisis. Rebel slaves hit my team in the jungle. They stole weapons, supplies. As if that wasn't bad enough, the idiots ransacked our spires for parts. Without those components, we've got a lightning spire building up dangerous energy levels. It'll crater half of Kaas City if it blows.
How long until the spire explodes?
I can't say for sure. We should have at least enough time to avert the disaster. Most of my men ran off. Some tried to reclaim the spire parts, but the rebels cut them down. I came back here for reinforcements. We need to recover the components the rebels stole and get that lightning spire back online before it goes critical.
That sounds like a suicide run.
I'd be long gone if I thought we didn't have a chance. At least give it a shot. The rebels are camped along the river. Blast them down, pry the stolen components from their hands, and then reinstall them at the spire. If the river runs red with rebel blood, I'll throw in something extra.
Oh, by the way, I think we all know that Garrick is the token evil party member of Deep Space Nine. Have you ever seen Deep Space Nine, Dr. Winter? Because I might be using an improper, well, an invalid analogy. Okay. Give me something to work with here. I don't care. That was easy. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. You keep me on my toes in a good way, Dr. Winter. I appreciate it. Yep. No, I think actually 7 was supposed to be the token evil character of Voyager. I'm stressing the way I say that. Supposed to be. What? Why do I suddenly have 50,000 quests everywhere? Oh, because of heroics. Okay. I was gonna say, what? Oh, I remember hating Dromund Kaas' heroics. Thankfully, that's not part of the review. Hang on, let's grab some of these while we're here. There we go. That being said, to address the elephant in the room, do I think any of the stupid ideologies are presented in a bad way in Tor so far? And I would say no. Most of them at least have been given a chance to be like, here's why we're stupid. And they've been using them to at least decent effect. We'll ask that question again when we get to the Revenites in probably about an hour and a half or so.
You can relax. I replaced the spire components.
I was just about to call in evacuation orders for the city. Well done. The rebel slaves will think twice before tampering with Imperial property again.
Damn slaves. They're very slavey with their slavering ways. How slave they. Look, we use slaves. Like, we're evil. We're evil. Actually, you do, Mr. Red. Speaking of which, you asked about something that, whether or not it's a moment. Which one of these is Arcano? Isn't that the next area we're going to? I could be wrong. Not a minute, I suppose. Nope, I'm wrong. This is this area. Okay. Listen, we have to put down the slide. No, it's just what you're asking is more a philosophical question than anything else. You're asking, does a character moment qualify as a plus to character or a plus to moment? Because it is a character moment. And it's like, I lean more towards moment.
Useless bureaucrats. Let them come here and do my job for a while. Forgive me, my lord. I didn't see you there. I'm Sergeant Mulcaris, 3rd Recon Company. Are you here about the bounty on the jungle predators?
What are you trying to sell?
I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to fulfill my orders. I've been in charge of protecting the slaves from predators since my superior was gored by one. There are too many beasts for us to handle. I requested assistance from Kaas City, but all they did was put a bounty on the jungle creatures, which hasn't helped us at all.
Tell me why not?
The only people who responded to the bounty were a pair of Mandalorians who promptly got themselves eaten. Poor slaves, I hear their screams when the creatures drag them away. Even off-worlders don't deserve to die like that. If you could thin out the predator population, it would make a huge difference for us.
If everything's settled, I'll be leaving.
If you kill the jungle predators, take the proof to Administrator Reese in Kaas City. She's paying the bounties on them.
Sorry, I just got a spam call, which was telling me that their records indicate that I am eligible for student loan forgiveness.
Sorry, Lord. I would find the supervisor for you, but talking to those spacers has already put me behind schedule. Ugh, that crew just wouldn't leave. They kept asking for supplies. Do I look like a quartermaster?
Were they asking for anything in particular?
I wasn't really listening. Maybe something about new uniforms. I sent them to the next camp over. Director Nashal there loves boasting about their superior equipment. So he can share it. I can give you the camp's location if you like.
I will investigate this.
There. It's not far. Hopefully you'll catch them before they leave.
Right. We are not a lord, correct? It's okay, we're a Sith, which is good enough. And I'm not really joking about that. Oh god, I don't know where my quests are. Okay, that quest is there. That quest is there. Oh my god, Cashel! I better give you $10,000, which I totally have to give you, immediately. Come on, game.
Finally! Somebody armed! I couldn't do anything! It was a group of spacers! We were helping them and they attacked us!
Blah, blah, blah.
I ran in here when they shot Nashal, but I heard them talking. I think they're Republic spies.
Settle down and focus.
They ransacked the camp for supplies and uniforms, even stole identification off each body. Then they found one of our maps. We'd located a hidden cave at the bottom of the waterfall nearby. They could regroup there and shoot anyone who gets close.
Did you get a chance to count them?
Enough to slaughter my colleagues. That's all I know. We need our uniforms and IDs back. Our supplies reclaimed and those spies destroyed, please. The security of the Empire is at risk.
Well, I guess. But only because the security of the Empire is at risk. No other reason. God. Yeah, there we go. Can't see what I'm running into. I mean, we all know the Furt Master is the one true weakness of Emperor Vitiate. He can't deal with silly, because he's so absolutely bent on trying to be as serious as possible the entire time. Yeah, no DDT, just DDH. It's okay, we still have our DDH. Forever. And I'm not dancing, so don't ask me to. Of course I did, Eva. Maybe. If it's in the queue. Is it in the queue? It might not be in the queue. Hang on, I'm juggling way too many things right now. I apologize. I can sing. That is a true statement. Hang on, let's do this. Let's let them die instantly. Jesus Christ. That was actually funny to watch. Hang on, let's see. There's a question from you that says, Lore, why are you so stupid? Well, actually, I don't see the question. Yeah, I literally have nothing but questions from Don Crow and Latario in chat. Oh, and Act. Right at the bottom. Listen, jungle planets are just amazing, okay? Alright, hang on. Let me do something really quick here. I don't see it. I'm sorry, Evo. Please stop beating me up. I swear I'll do better. Also, is that a dancing Twi'lek? That's a dancing Twi'lek. Oh my god. It's terrifying. It's terrifying! Okay. Don Crow is a tier, so I'll skip over that one for right now. J. Palmer says, if Maul killed Anakin, who do you think would take his place as Vader? Obi-Wan. How well would Boba Fett do in our world as a bounty hunter? Terribly. Do you canonically think this is how the 4 Imperial protagonists became friends? Did Black Talon and all went to Dromund Kaas at the same time? Yes. And they never stopped coordinating or interacting with each other, which, actually, if you think about it, it's pretty funny. But let's not get into that. Is that it? Am I... What was the question, Evo? For the light side corruption, what if they had hair and clothes as white as snow with light shining from them like the sun? Again, yeah, the glow is something I'm in favor of. The eyes is something I'm in favor of. I don't think I'd touch the hair, especially since that wouldn't affect so many species. Let's see if we actually survive this. I'm kind of curious. Have I ever played the DLC in Ace Combat 7? I'm not even sure if I played Ace Combat 7 in general. I played one of them, but I couldn't tell you which number it was. Either way, the answer is a big fat no. I was thinking golden eyes, since golden tends to be the color of the light side of the Force. I cannot attack that target. Let's see. So that's actually the whole queue, except for Don Crow's question and the Evo question, which doesn't exist. Apparently. Do I think Obi-Wan ever fell to the light side? No. It was something about the black box, Eva, but I don't remember the details.
Supplies. And the uniforms, too!
What?
It would take a whole platoon to handle those infiltrators.
This playlist. Sure, we're gonna switch playlists. Switching playlists. We've actually got a jungle playlist.
It's nothing worth shouting about.
Still, it couldn't have been easy. Thank you.
the rewrite, would the Jedi acknowledge light side corruption? I don't know. That would depend on if there is such a thing as light side corruption. Which, of course, is the idea, but... No. Just drop all 5 right now, even. Just do it. Just go. Just go. Go! That way I can address them when I have a moment, like, say, right now. Go! I mean, Atris... No, Atris super fell to the dark side. We all know that one. That was it. That's a clear-cut example of falling to the dark side right there. My God. That woman. But yeah, I like the idea that so if we were to go that route, I like the idea that light side corruption is considered a good thing. They probably wouldn't even call it light side corruption. Remember, if I have my way, there will be no such thing as the light side. So, all of it is predicated on misinformation and lack of correctness and, of course, lies. So, they would probably call it becoming one with the Force. Oh, I like that, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. They'll become one with the Force. Anyways. Yep, we need to leave Atris to be horrifically tortured, because killing's evil! Why would you kill someone? You're so evil. Oh, it would absolutely be corruption. Oh, you know what? Hold up. That's a good question, Mr. Ed. Keeping me on my toes. I feel like it's... whether or not it's corruption, whether it's a good or bad thing, depends entirely on how much you care about individual will. Because the argument could easily be leveled that a galaxy which was universally light side, even my version of the light side, which again doesn't exist, would be a good thing. You cannot have a nightmare if you never dream. Just picture... I forget what they call it. The white in Shadowbringers, or just the burn if you prefer, and that's just the galaxy. No crime, no poverty, no cruelty, no pain, no war. Where's my questions, Evo? I have no questions. Damn it! Damn you, question bot! You have failed me. Now Evo doesn't want to ask because she's like, he just doesn't want to answer questions because he's evil and stupid and I hate him. There's no questions in the queue. There are no questions in the queue. Oh, no, wait, no, never mind, there is. Where the hell? Okay. Hang on. 5 questions just popped into the queue after your question, but I'm going to address yours first. How would he react when the local's history is revealed to be the black box? What a goddamn waste of everything. That is so horrific and awful. That is something that would legitimately bother him. I don't think it would come up. I don't think he'd be like, God, these poor people. But at the same time, it would probably taint his tone. Constantly, and probably forever. By the way, I hope you appreciate this, Evo, because I've given you one of my favorite characters to write, and we've pretty much just guaranteed that this man is going to retire shortly after this mission in disgrace, and probably have PTSD for the rest of his life over this. That occurred to me the other day. I was like, wow, after all the crap he's been through, he fails to save some idiots from themselves. Whoops! This is why Evo is substantially more evil than anything I could ever do. I just come up with horrific stuff. She comes up with stuff that never stops being horrific. Welcome to Kaas City. This place sucks. Any questions? Things that I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to make it work, Mr. Red.
A second of your time, please. Oh, and you have colleagues. Unexpected, but no matter. Mind a 20. Imperial Intelligence.
That's true. Eva's torturing me as we speak.
What exactly is Imperial intelligence?
A contradiction in
Information
terms.
gathering and internal security arm of the Empire. We report to the Minister of Intelligence, who reports directly to the Dark Council. You are new faces on Dromund Kaas. A unique group in a unique situation. I need you to meet a man. Go where he says and do what he asks. There's little danger, but you must not question him.
Going into a situation I don't understand makes me nervous, but I'll do what I must.
The man is named Manda, and he is in a local cantina. Tell him the Lord of Sorrow sent you. Good luck. We will not speak again.
Yeah, I need to finish reading your full response to my question, Mr. Ed, which I haven't had time to dissect yet. Which is why I haven't responded to you yet, if you're wondering. Yeah, I asked, why do you want this? And then I got a page in return, so I'll come back to that, I swear.
7 brutal, bloody murders. 7! And the killer is allowed to walk free? Decent, law-abiding citizens, loyal servants of the Emperor, are being slaughtered. And what do our security forces do? Nothing. I've seen the killer myself, but the authorities say I don't have enough proof. I demand justice!
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you probably know the killer. He's a professional manhunter like you. Well, hopefully not just like you. Several days ago, I spotted a bounty hunter following people seemingly at random, but pointing a strange device at them. The descriptions of the murder victims exactly match the people the hunter was following. He's behind these brutal killings, I know it.
He cannot be allowed to continue.
Well, what a relief. I've been trying to get someone, anyone, to listen to me for days. I followed the killer this morning. Saw him skulking into the Mandalorian Enclave. Someone called him by name, Renegade. This bounty hunter must learn the Empire doesn't tolerate gutter scum like him killing its citizens. He needs to be punished.
Okay. You know what, I'm not even sure I care. Yeah, the Sith need proper evidence before killing someone, okay? That's the thing. That's Stronghold, that's that. Means... I mean, he is kind of old, but no, I could see him retiring. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. And of course, I don't know the ending yet, but once I do, I'll be able to answer that question.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your stay.
But from what you've told me, everyone's going to die and it'll all have been for nothing and that will all suck. So yeah, he might actually retire. Especially since their whole history was one of tragedy and loss. I like your question, by the way, because what your question was, your earlier question was, why would something horrific and evil happening to a bunch of people bother him? It's not his fault. So there's this concept, Evo, I want to introduce it to you. It's called empathy. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Sorry. It's a brand new thing. We just invented it. I guess it's fair since we are playing, Sith.
I've got a shuttle to catch. You mind getting out of my way?
Fleeing the scene of your crimes, Renegade.
Just my luck. 10 seconds later and I would have been off this blasted planet. You've been listening to Wrightson. Great. Listen, I didn't murder anybody. I was just hired to tag some random citizens, that's all.
You admit you're mixed up in these brutal murders, then?
No! I never touched any of those victims. My clients did all the killings. I was hired by a group of Sith to organize games for them. Didn't realize what that meant until bodies started piling up. When I confronted them, they laughed. Said Sith have a birthright to hunt lowlives. It's like a sport to them.
And so what you're saying, Evo, is that he'd look at this and be like, well, this isn't my fault, so I'm sorry, I'll let it go.
There's no telling what will give a Sith pleasure.
And that's why I'm trying to get as far away from Dromund Kaas as possible. I'm in over my head and too many people are watching me now. So I can't even leave. I need help, and I'm willing to pay for it. You interested?
I do like getting paid.
I'm making no promises.
I just want this problem to go away. And I only see two ways for that to happen. Either get rid of the loudmouth pointing fingers at me, or end that sick game the Sith are playing.
I think your clients need to find a new hobby.
Works for me. I'll have a plan that'll get them so good, no one will have to worry about fallout. Take this hunter tag. Use it on Sith acolytes all around the city. The acolytes will become my clients' new targets. Don't worry. I'll make sure they survive. Come back when you're done, and I'll pay you.
Okay.
Ready for
listen.
departure.
Less Sith is always good for me.
Enjoy your stay.
I'm just saying. Ah, gotcha, Evo. So you assume he's pure evil, when in fact, what he is professional. Let me put it to you this way. So, on the job, he's on the job. And he's busy being on the job, doing on the job, and cannot allow his personal feelings to even be acknowledged. The moment you get off the job is when all that stuff smashes you in the face, because now you have no reason to keep yourself out of all of the emotions, reactions, and consequences of your decisions, and all the horrible crap you were just slogging through. So...
Nanda, the Lord of Sorrow sent me.
Listen carefully. I can say this once. A Chith security officer stands at the bank. Hand him this gambling chip. He will give you a small item and further instructions. Now walk away casually.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Why not? This sounds very on the level. Smiling. Favorite AT vehicles? My favorite AT vehicle by far is the AT-AT. Go ahead. I've heard it all. The duck quacks, but only once at midnight. Oh yeah, the AT-AT is legit. Big ol' artillery troop carrier. Lovely thing. Also looks cool, but that's unrelated. After that, I'd probably go with the AT-PT. Simple, but extremely effective and great at anti-personnel. God damn it. I didn't mean to cancel that. Hollow calls are not permitted. That's interesting. Where is Vigilant? Which one of these is Vigilant? There it is. Where is Vigilant? Oh god, there's too much crap on my screen. Okay, there's Orcano. Where's Vigilant? There you are. Okay, I see you. Nah, not quite, Evo. Hang on.
What is that disgusting stench? Oh, by the stars, what are you doing with all those rotting animal parts? No offense, my lord. I'm not sure what's going on. Why would you bring all these carcasses into my office?
I have what you wanted.
You did this for the bounty on jungle predators. I didn't expect anyone to be this thorough.
What did you expect exactly?
Grateful for the extraordinary lengths you went to. Enjoy your reward. I'll take these beast parts and put them anywhere but here. Thank you for your help.
Cool. One, Lataria, which is this question. Did you notice the irony that Atrus is dressed in all white, but she's the most evil of Jedi Masters? No, I'm blind, dumb, and deaf. Yes, I've noticed.
I have a gambling chip for you.
And I have a package for you. Do not open it. Better if you don't even look at it. There is an NK line droid. I'll show you where to find it. The package goes there. Long live the Emperor.
Yeah. Long kill the Emperor? I'm cool with that. Seriously, screw the Emperor and his stupid face. His incredibly genericness.
I have a package for you.
For me? How wonderful. And I, in turn, have something for you, to show appreciation. If we have not caught the Republic's attention with this sequence, they simply aren't paying attention. Empire forever.
I love the implications there. Oh, I didn't even see that question, Latario. Because it's gross? I mean, actually, probably the real answer to that is because of the fact that it doesn't work that way. They don't have the literal metabolism to process Force people in flesh, so they don't, because they can't. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few cannibal cults out there, like the ones we encounter on Tatooine, for example. So here's the nuance, Evo. Lying by omission is something that has to be done because it's the job. Revealing a horrible long past history is something that doesn't really matter because it's just the job. Does that make sense? Because if not, then we'll come back to it.
My client's already ambushed one of the acolytes you tagged. Wish I could have been there. Attacking Sith is a major crime, even for other Sith. I sent the authorities an anonymous tip to watch the acolytes closely.
I like the outfit, by the way.
My clients jumped the ones you tagged. They were arrested and executed. Best work I've done in a long time.
Oh, can't even interact with that one.
I'm glad to see you're so happy.
In this job, I don't get much chance to feel like I did the right thing. My loudmouth friend ought to shut up, now that the killers have been caught. That should make life easier. Here, take these credits. Couldn't have pulled this off without you.
Don't worry.
See you around, friend.
I will never be caught killing other Sith, Claw. So the reason I keep going back to the medical comparison is for a very deliberate reason. Is that... I don't know what that is. That's actually all my quests. I've got so many quest indicators on my map. Hang on. So, let's chop off the local recording.